Hello, everyone! Oh, it's Saturday. We haven't streamed a Magic and Mostead in Saturday in a while.
It has been a while.
Yeah, we're jumping back in. I'm your DM, Mike. Joined with me are my amazing players. We have Amber, Steve,
Hello.
and Temple.
Hello.
Oh my god. So as you haven't noticed, or if you have, we are obviously going through a bunch of changes here. We're expecting, we're getting closer and closer to the due date. So all of this has definitely created a bit of a chaotic scheduling, but a few announcements in regards to that. First and foremost, we're coming hot off the heels of Amber's latest one-shot, Ripples and Waves. So if you haven't caught that, it's still on VOD here on Twitch.
You guys cracked me up.
And it also should be on our YouTube channel, so if you want to check it out, you can check it out there. In addition to that, we will be live next week on a Sunday, so it'll be the 10th of July instead of Saturday. Again, we're doing a bunch of shifting in terms of our scheduling. In addition to that, we just got some licensing done, some
Finally.
art created, all of it's there, and you'll be able to actually get some new merch. We're creating some new merch for when we go away. So you'll be able to get Vera, Rolly, and Savannah on a shirt, on a hat, on a whatever you want. We'll have it. Stickers.
Whatever floats your
Life goals. I'm a shirt.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good. Let's see. I think that's, in terms of announcements, that's what we have. I think we're not going to do another one shot until after the baby's born.
I'm not going. Maybe you will. I won't.
I have a few announcements.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I have one. One big one is that
Oh yeah.
you can catch me on, I believe it's going to be on either State of Decay's stream or Xbox. Their official Twitch channel, I'll be invited there, and I'm going to be playing a State of Decay one-shot with a couple of employees from Xbox Direct. The social media manager from Xbox Direct is also going to be there, and apparently we're going to have a special DM. So yeah, I'm going to play a zombie survivor in the world of State of Decay.
Well,
Yeah. Oh,
Like, don't get bit.
by the way, props to Heather. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, buddy.
No pressure on the not getting bit part.
Yeah, I've already started building my character. It's going to be exciting. That kid Yoshi, what's going on? Oliver in chat. Hey. All right. Are you guys ready for a quick recap of what happened last time?
I think we need the
I
recap.
think we need it.
It's been some time.
Need it.
Let's go and bring up my notes here. As the party wakes from their harrowing victory against Queen Evergrey, they found that their dwarven friend Malsado and Daniel both left without saying goodbye. After some breakfast in their belly and the tasks at hand, Vera used her Word of Recall spell to return the party to a lone hotel room above the Raven's Kiss in a coda. Now, we're going to rapid fire a bit of what occurred as our party hopped between a coda and the secret Raven's Claw, the underground village where the followers of the Thieves Guild's leader resides. Number 1. A stressed Leon informs the party that upon his arrival back from his forced teleportation by the hands of Blood Eyes Belladonna, that all of the Kenku, that carry the leader's voice, Richard Thogmore, have lost their voices, and they have been dealing with that trauma. The guild is in trouble. Without the voice of the leader, most of the guild's headquarters are currently going into disarray. Number 2. A hit was placed on Rolly's family. Someone who marked their name as Anna set a bounty of 1,000 gold to kill the Barnwell family. This hit was placed under the eye of Victoria, an old half-orc woman who takes over from the bar from time to time whenever Leon and Richard are gone. Number 3. Vera was able to cure Savannah's Richard as he informed that a pale woman, skinny with black hair, human features, found their hideout, the Raven's Claw, and took their voices with some strong magic. He recognizes the issue on hand with the hit on Rolly's family and left in a hurry to stop it. Number 4. Vera sent out a whole slew of messages to people and learned that the employees of the Books and Brew have been arrested for the death of the domain leader's domain royal guard or general, Meryl Templeman. Her death is there. She also instructed her father to hurry and help the Barnwells as he teleported via transport via plants to the location with a small handful of hired hands. Also, Uthiel is currently busy looking over the death of the king, King Caspian, which at this point has only happened about 2 days ago. This all happened last session. As the party sits in the Akota bar trying not to break down, they hurried to Alrak and the Books and Brew to save their friends. Only to be arrested by the domain's lead sergeant, Cass. Cass led the party into individual holding cells and interrogated them. Whether he was successful or simply did it underneath the guise to talk to them, only to throw them into the castle cell, is moot at this point. The party sits in a metal cage next to the Books and Brew family, and eager to leave, the party picks their cell's lock and speaks to Ruby Blair, the counselor of the domain. I know I'm throwing a lot of names and titles for those who are just jumping in. A lot of shit happened in the last session.
That it did.
You did not mention the hostile witness.
Pretty much. The Rolly definitely was a bit hostile. So, upon speaking to Ruby Blair, they set up a meeting with the queen of the domain, Queen Turner. The tiefling that rules informed that such respected member of the domain circle was killed, and that she alone could not provide forgiveness or pardon to the Books and Brew employees. If the party wanted to save their friends, they needed to present as much evidence as they can within 3 days' time. The party learned a lot, but with still so many paths to look into, they head back to the Books and Brew to rest, waiting for the early morning delivery of evidence. So, you guys currently are back at the Books and Brew. It is quiet, empty. It's kind of odd to see that, at this hour, there should be people here. And as you stand at the entrance, looking at the first floor where the bar and kitchen is, looking at the numerous tables and booths, you can almost hear the chatter of the ghosts of past patrons. The sound of singing, the sound of glasses clanking to one another, meals being had, the smell of food and alcohol being shared, the small flurry of fire as Moscow throws a bottle in the air, catches it, and starts to mix. All these little ghostly images fill your minds as reality hits. And it's quiet. Kind of lonely. A little cold. And your minds go to your friends, Ellie, Luna, and Moscow, currently in a cold underground jail cell underneath the castle. I'm going to go through each one of you guys, because obviously last session was a lot. Vera, what's going through your mind right now as you currently stand in the first floor of the Books and Brew?
I'm sure she's pissed, like at the overall situation. I think she thinks that Moscow could handle himself. Like, she doesn't like that he's down there, but I mean, like, out of the personalities to be in this situation, he's probably a little less down on his luck. I think she probably just feels really bad for Luna because she's had this like horrible experience multiple times and it's not been good in any way, shape, or form. But I think she's just focused on looking around to see if like anything's been moved or like she can find anything when she first walks in there versus like sitting down and like taking a break.
You want to look around?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna keep that in mind. Rolly, as you currently shadowing your friends due to your enormous size, looking at the numerous booths which look like they were cleaned for the night and almost were ready for opening, like it should have been opened by now, and you're just sort of standing in this quiet room no lit candles. What are you thinking about?
Well, for starters, before we even jump into Rolly, Akuma, thank you so much for that gift to Tier 1
Yes, thank you so
sub.
much.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Akuma.
Thank you, Siege. Hope you enjoy that Tier 1 sub, dude. I have four. Going back to character, I have 4 different things I'm thinking about right now. Number 1, above all else, I am deeply concerned about my family, even knowing that Vera's family is on their way there or already there to protect them. I still can't help but feel like I should be there. Like I wish I could be. Number 2, someone's gonna get their skull cracked,
Yeah.
and that's not a threat. That's a promise. Number 3, I really want to do everything I can to help clear our friends who are currently, being our friends, dude, who are, really being accused of something they didn't commit, and being set up or whatever the case is. Like, I really wants to do whatever he can to drum up evidence to, clear their name. He knows deep down in his heart they had nothing to do with this.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Moscow can be kind of I know he can be kind of a dick sometimes.
Kind of too much, a little much.
Yeah, he's got a good heart though. He's got a good heart. And of course, finally, I mean, I can see my friend Savannah's very shaken up about what's happened to her guild, to her second family, if you will. So he wants to, he wants to help in whatever way he can.
Okay.
And then it's also cold
Yeah.
and lonely.
Savannah, what's going through your mind as you're currently standing in this empty floor that used to be bustling with people?
Savannah's a mixture of heartbroken and fucking pissed. I can imagine that she doesn't know what to do with herself, so she's probably like at the bar making coffee, trying just to figure out something to keep herself busy, because she has her friends in jail. Her guild is a complete mess. She's still worried about Rolly, and someone's messing with their money now. And we all know she's also a businesswoman, so it's just like, what the hell is going on?
It's true. Okay. Vera, I know in particular you're going to look around. You said.
Gonna give myself guidance.
Anything in particular that you're trying to look for?
I don't remember everything, but the one thing Amber remembers now is that they found a knife, and I want to see if our sets are missing a knife.
Yes. Go ahead and roll an investigation check with your guidance. Savannah walks behind the bar, and you still see like a freshly unopened package of coffee that still needs to be grinded. Like, Moscow was ready to start opening for the day, but unfortunately they didn't even get to that point, so you start to do that yourself. Rolly, being concerned for Savannah, I think you probably stand either next to her or across the bar from her enough where you're sort of making sure that you are both aware that you're there for each other. Just being that close is always comforting. What'd you get?
Question. For Eyes of Minute Scene, it says I have advantage on intelligence or investigation checks that rely
Oh, you have
on
advantage.
Sight with
Yeah.
searching. Okay. I was going to say, make sure. They want to roll it and be like, let me take that one.
Mm-hmm.
Just look at Rolly. I'm like, is coffee going to be strong enough for this today?
That's better.
It's still nighttime, by the
No.
way.
I mean, when do we make normal coffee?
No, coffee's not strong enough. Put coffee down. Pull out bottle.
21.
21. Vera, you go into the kitchen, specifically where all the silverware is, and you start opening all the drawers that do carry the numerous piles and piles of clean silverware, spoons, forks, and other sort of utensils.
She's literally laying them out to see if one is missing.
Yeah, I think what catches your eye is as you're counting them, and I'm gonna say this takes you some time.
Oh yeah, she's putting time and effort into this.
Let's say that there's a set amount of number for each and there is one, essentially what you're aware, I think you know this because it's your bar, it's your restaurant. There's a steak knife missing. Something that would be provided to a table if someone ordered some heavy meat.
Okay.
And Savannah, you open the bottle, start to pour a little bit of glasses for your two other companions and yourself.
Question, and if it involving my other two companions, that would probably make more sense. Would there be a place in the bar where they kept like orders for the night previously, like just like paper that they maybe
Like receipts?
threw away?
I would think. Well, I don't know. Would it be an establishment that keeps some type of receipt, or
Even if like I'm thinking of like, because I've watched way too much Chef Ramsay lately, but like you know how they like they
Oh, like
write
the
down the
ticket?
order and they just pin it there for like to see how many they need for the tables.
like the call tickets?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Shady. Yeah, I think we'll keep your 21. And there definitely is a ticketing system. You have Ellie on your side. She is a very meticulous person who more than likely has already built in a full receipt and table check system.
Mhm.
I'm gonna roll a number.
So essentially, she's looking to see how many like people would have ordered a dish that would have required that kind of knife.
I'll say the night before, or the full day before, there were 11 steaks ordered. And I think the unfortunate part of it is that they are set to a number, to a table number, not to a name.
What table number?
I'll say that it is set to table, because there's only about like 1, 2, 3, 4. If I remember correctly, I don't have the. Unfortunately, when
There's
we
only a
moved over
couple
to
tables down there.
yeah, when we moved over to Foundry from Astral, we lost that map, unfortunately. So I'll have to recreate it. But I'll say that there were like 2 big tables and a bunch of bar areas. I'll say that number 2. We'll say table number 2.
Okay. I think she's gonna put those like tickets aside. She's gonna take the set it's missing from and put that aside, and just like start collecting her little pile of stuff that she's trying to figure out. Can I go over to table 2? I mean, I'm sure they cleaned in here, but I mean, like, if there's anything, maybe long shot.
Yeah.
Can I use my lantern on the table to see if anything weird pops up?
Sure. You go into the pack or the side satchel where you have it hooked onto the side. You bring up the lantern, light it, and start to shine its ever-glowing magical aura across the actual table and space. There is no illusionary magic that is revealed, or any illusions that are kept there. And we'll keep your 21. I'm gonna say that you start to look it over. It looks like it was cleaned that night. You know as well. I think Vera knows well that both Luna and Moscow are very meticulous when it comes to, all right, time to close up shop. We gotta clean up. We're going to bed. So more than likely, whoever was sitting here, you can't tell whether it was the latest person or the first person. It's hard to tell.
Yeah.
But it was cleaned afterwards at night.
That might be something to ask them though, because I'm assuming like we know our regulars, so we can have an idea of like who was here that night. If they were our regulars, someone different.
Yeah, they might remember who it was, or like who sat on that table. Especially if they're ordering freaking 11 steaks.
No.
Wait, one table ordered 11
Oh, like
steaks?
they were all like just ordered there?
I informed you that there was 11 steaks sold that day.
Okay.
And you said, okay, well, table 2. It's like, well, they more like ordered a steak.
So and essentially we had 11 orders for that day.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll see.
It makes no sense, this is me as a DM saying, it makes no sense for me to provide, like, I think out of all the receipts you find that there were 11 steaks sold. Obviously, this came from an order that had an adjacent steak knife that was given.
Yeah.
Because there's so many questions to this. I'm gonna say out of all the steaks sold. Oh boy. How am I gonna do this? Because I know there's a few questions here. Is how do you know that they all came from 2?
Yeah, that's what my question was. I was like, wait, how did we all?
Maybe they have the tables marked on it. It's all like, oh, there's like 2 stakes on this ticket, came from table XYZ. So
I'm gonna make it easy on all of us. For the first floor, I'm gonna say that there were in total 5 stakes sold, 3 for table 2, 2 for table 1.
okay.
That way, it feels more realistic that way. Because why would only one table be ordering steak?
Okay. So 2 for table 2, 3 for table 1.
Yes. Make it easy on all of us.
Yeah, that's why I got confused. I was like, wait.
No worries. The logic started to hit me, and I was like, I made a logic error here.
That doesn't
Yes.
that doesn't help though. I think she's just like, that doesn't help that we are missing a fucking knife. Like we were kind of hoping that like maybe other restaurants had those knives, but yeah.
That doesn't help our cause at all.
I mean,
So-
to be fair, we not give, but let patrons use the knife. Who's to say like somebody didn't put it in their bag, walk the fuck out, and stab her with it?
That makes me think we need to up our security if people are stealing our silverware now, but
You know, I'm not gonna be rude, but you know, I'm just saying full circle.
I just give Vera the evil look and we're like, not the time.
I'm just saying.
Got him.
Got a point there.
Yes, and I know from experience how, people can just walk off with their silverware.
I
Rude.
bet you do. I bet you do.
That means you should be the person that safeguards against it, since you know.
What if there's a spell we could put? Never mind.
Telling you
Thoughts
right
for
now,
later.
I used to work at a
Magnets.
restaurant. It happens. It's a budget you got to keep track of. It happens. Sometimes you got to replenish your silverware. But anything else you guys would like to look around? Anything else you need to discuss?
I mean, if we're gonna base off the idea someone walked out with their silverware, we need to get an idea of who was in the bar that night.
We'd have to ask them.
Mm.
And 25 words really is not enough.
No. We're gonna have to probably go back.
Yeah, I'll go back with Ruby, but I'm not going down there by myself. That guy was a dick. Like I didn't punch him in his face. It'd only make things worse.
If they're already swept the bar, so if we found out so much as we're gonna find, huh?
I mean, I can keep looking. I can help Sav look if she wants. Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you like to look more? Savannah?
Yeah,
that's-
I'll take a crack at looking
Okay.
as myself.
I'll help her. I'll give guidance.
I'm gonna say you can give guidance. You cannot give the help action, unfortunately.
Okay.
You already used your skills to look.
Yeah.
That's the extent of what you can do.
Okay.
Rolling will just be
Let me
sitting,
find a D4.
What was that, Rolly?
sitting here drinking his drink.
Yeah, you have a bottle with you now, and you're like, you know what? I'm just gonna think, sit, and let it stew.
Oh, okay. With the D4, that's 25.
25.
So,
You know, I think this is how we can start making our way to signal it to one table. Savannah, you start going over the tickets some more. You don't find any additional physical evidence, unfortunately. But you start to go over the tickets once more, and you notice that there were, like, some tables on table 1 had multiple orders made. Like, for one table, like, if there was a group of people eating together. There was one ticket in particular. Unfortunately, there's no, like, timestamp. It's not like we have a machine here that does it. But definitely table 2 had one ticket that had only one steak, one drink. And not only that, the drink was ordered, like there was an extra charge for it, so that the person who made that order can walk away with a like a gift stein.
Oh, like no. I know what word you're talking about. I can't say it either.
Yeah. So they can walk away with like a cup to walk away with. So you find one ticket.
so free
that
gift
was-
for purchase. That's funny.
Yeah, they purchased a gift for themselves and one steak, and it was meant for one person.
It's like a souvenir cup that you get.
Souvenir cup.
So, Not sure if this means anything, but there was a solo person that out of stake and also got a Stein.
Well, they did say they found her memorabilia with her stuff, so that kind of, we already got the knife, you got the Stein.
There was something else when the body wasn't there. What am I forgetting? Where are my notes?
Kitchen knife. We had the notice of shutdown. Cracked glass stein. What the hell did I write there? Witness is a leathersmith. And then something about the elixir.
So did he take the drink with him?
That's currently in evidence. They're going to deliver that to you in the morning.
That's what I wrote down, but I wrote it down in a hurry. Nobody can't tell already.
And then when she didn't get any of that stuff in the mail, she got the,
What did she get in the mail?
a bottle in the mail. She got a
She got the
bottle
vial
in
in
the
the mail.
bottle in the
Oh,
mail.
in the mail.
But that wasn't our stuff, it was just a bottle.
That was the last thing she remembered, right? She got the vial and then out.
Yeah. My only thing is when Ruby said you can't get in there unless like you already have clearance, and if it wasn't somebody pretending to be her with magic, they hopefully wouldn't have been able to get in there, or they were powerful enough to just scoot by it.
The thing that Ruby informed you is not that someone couldn't get in there without clearance. It's that
Isn't there like magic?
there's like an anti-magic,
Yeah. So it would drop.
it's more like a counterspell magic situation that's put in place, much like the orbs that you have. Like currently, Savannah has a black orb that has 3 spells in it that were captured. Essentially, that is always in place in Ruby Blair's office.
What if the orb was broken? I mean, we cracked it. Who's to say somebody couldn't have cracked it and then went in there? I just don't know.
But
It was either her or somebody that looked like her. Somebody that knocked her out. The guard said that he seen her leave the room, but she doesn't remember.
I mean, if she was under some type of trance from whatever was in the bottle, does it even matter if it was another person?
Yeah, because it might be the person that did all this.
Well, I mean, the bottle came in the mail, so it's a way to get in without actually being there.
Could it have been a shapeshifter, like what happened with your sister? Mira?
Maybe.
Sorry, hear me now. Maybe it could have been a shapeshifter.
You're still really low, Steve.
I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
No, I mean, it could be, I think. I don't know if it would work on somebody that's just innately how they are.
You all hear this sort of ethereal knocking at the door. And
Ethereal knocking.
yeah, because the way it works here is that because the entrance to the Books and Brew is through the sort of magical elevator square space,
Oh, it sounds different.
an outdoor knocking is actually echoing for all rooms so that everyone in every section of the tower can hear it. Because when you guys are open, people don't need to do that. They just walk in. Because you guys are locked up right now, you hear someone's at the front door.
Can I just yell? If I yell, could they hear, like, we're closed?
Yeah, let's say that there's some sort of like speaker system here to allow you to speak to the outdoor.
Well,
Yeah,
aren't they supposed to be delivering us the stuff?
well, we'll find out if it's them, otherwise we're closed. So I'm like, yeah, I'll yell, we're closed!
You hear the words, Savannah?
Uh-oh.
It's Mary.
Oh, wait, come in.
Oh no, we're closed.
Oh, I forgot we didn't tell her what happened. I was running out of spells. I go run and open the door.
You hear as the arcane elevator lets her in and sort of shifts her back into the tower as she kind of steps out. Mary Kane, sort of dressed in sort of a warm cloak. Obviously, it's winter. It's always winter here in Alrak. But kind of like very loose sleepwear, like she was her hair all tattered, looking like she was a bit worried, like she hasn't gotten a lot of sleep. And she goes, "Oh, hi, dear. Have you heard from Moscow? I haven't."
Maybe you should sit down for a second.
Come have a seat at the bar. We'll get you something to warm up.
Okay, thank you. She sort of takes off the jacket and puts it on a hook and goes, "Whew, still getting used to domain weather."
Do you want tea or
Oh,
cold bottle something stronger?
tea would be lovely. Thank you.
What do you call a tea with alcohol in it?
Hot toddy.
Maybe you should give her one of those.
Let's start with the tea, and then we'll see if she wants it.
I know that Moscow likes to get really worked up in his work. Is he home? He usually has.
So, something's happened.
He's okay. He's safe. Okay. He's okay. It's just.
Okay.
It's a mess. That's the best way to explain it.
He's in jail?
Not for anything he did. They're all Ellie,
What happened?
Luna, and
He's
him.
being accused of murdering someone in high. Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, you guys are taking too long.
We're
Well,
trying
we
to
were
be delicate.
gentle.
He would never.
No, I know.
No, we know.
Oh, we
we
know.
We're honestly, they're trying to set us all up.
We're trying to get. We're participating in an investigation to try and clear their names, but they won't. We don't have enough leverage, and
Why do they think they? Is Ellie and Luna involved?
they took all three of them
Why do they think they did it?
because they found books and brew stuff at the site.
Oh my goodness.
Of the murder, and of course, one of the knife used in the murder was one that belonged to the Books and Brew.
She kind of leans against the bar, hand upon the hot tea, and then slowly starts to drink it.
But we met with the queen, and she's given us a lot of leeway that I didn't think we were gonna get. And the person that they killed, I kind of brought back to life, but she doesn't remember everything. So we kind of halfway put a band-aid on it for right now.
Okay. Is it okay with you, all of you, if I spend the night? I don't want to be alone tonight.
I think
We're welcome here.
I honestly
Always.
think she
Oh,
can.
go ahead.
She might be able to help.
I would love to help.
Well, I mean, my thing is more magic, and Sav's good about investigation, and Rolly's good about beating the crap out of people. But you know, like medical stuff. Would there be something that could just like knock her out, like that? She said. I mean, obviously we have to get it, but there was a little bottle that I don't know. She said she touched it and just.
Touched?
She
Okay.
got it in the mail.
Who
Uh,
was murdered?
one of the generals, Meryl Templeman.
Oh, sweet. Oh no. It's horrible. You kind of see her like almost like she wants to help. She's worried. This is all a shock, and this older woman, obviously, she's sort of in her later years, just sort of like sits there for a moment, sort of lost in space. And you can see that your words have definitely struck a chord. Like her mind is working, but at a slower pace,
Yeah.
a bit jumbled, until finally she goes, "Okay, okay. The general received a bottle. She opened it, and what happened? What were the symptoms?"
She just blacked out, and that's all
Blacked
she
out.
remembers right now. I don't really have anything in my wheelhouse that restores memory.
But the guard swears they saw her walked out, and somehow she ended up getting murdered.
She doesn't
Okay.
remember any of that.
But she doesn't remember any of it.
If we assume that the actions taken by the general were in direct cause of the vial, we assume then that there was something in the vial that caused her to black out and almost go into almost like a meditative conditioned state. I guess we can assume that.
Well, we were thinking if maybe somebody just knocked her out and then pretended to be her, but supposedly there's precautions for that if you go into the castle, so I don't know. We're kind of stuck until we get our stuff.
You said you brought her back?
Uh-huh.
Did she say she got hit in the head? Felt pain?
She
She
doesn't
just said she blacked out.
So I think we can rule out the fact that someone knocked her out.
Yeah.
It's got to be about that. That sounds like a Moscow thing. If he can't look into it. Moscow used to study at the Cauldron and Claw Library back before I met him. He used to tell me stories about it's one of the actually, she sort of points towards like a location outside. She goes, it's one of the towers here surrounding the Alrak Castle. It's a very, very exclusive library and repository of librarians that take on promising students and teaches them in the ways of alchemy and chemistry. Many skilled people teach there. I doubt that any of his teachers are still there. There's a classmate that might still be there. He's talked about stories about him.
What's his classmate?
Mr. Dallas Killian. When Moscow and I first started dating, he told me all about his studies and where he came from.
You think if we had the bottle or from when they drop off the evidence and we took it, they might be able to identify it?
Probably. I can't. My assessment was that if there was no pain, then that rules out a few things. I'm not a chemist like Moscow is.
Well, I think when I resurrected her, all her wounds and stuff healed back up.
Healed?
But I think they told us about the wounds on her when we looked at her, right?
Like they were actual stab wounds, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought there was like 4 of them in the back.
There were I don't remember the exact number, but there were stab wounds on the body.
The weird thing is, she said she doesn't do these types of visits. I guess it was like a visit to look at her bar for violations, and she said she doesn't even care about those things. But when she was in this state, I guess she made an argument with Ruby Blair that she had to go for whatever reason.
To this specific one.
Yes, to our specific
She
tavern.
starts to blush a little bit, like a bit embarrassed, and she goes, well, it kind of reminds me of how do I clean this up?
Clean this up.
Moscow, when I first met him, he had this trick where you almost fall into a charm state after drinking an elixir, and it was something small. It was a party trick, you know, making someone cluck like a chicken, or. And she starts to glow red, and she's like, "Never mind, don't worry." But essentially, there is. I mean, it sounds like something Moscow could do if put in the time.
Mary, is there anyone else at the academy who might be able to do something like this?
I mean, the Cauldron and Claw are a group of people that do this for a living. That's what they do. They study alchemy. They would have probably the skills to do it.
Can you just like get in there? Or you need special recommendations.
I've only heard stories. I don't really know.
I mean, maybe Ruby could get us in there, worst case scenario.
And then the next question I have is, to the best of your, of your knowledge, would there be anyone here that would have it out for Moscow?
Technically, all 3 of them.
I'm sure he's pissed people off in his younger years.
Yeah, yes.
She kind of laughs with you, kind of like agreeing of what the person she married. No one in particular comes to mind.
Mary, have you noticed anything weird of the last few days? Like, people who aren't normally, unusual people around, or faces you didn't recognize? Anyone possibly watching you guys? Because the ways this is getting set up, they knew exactly what to pin on them to put them, to make them look as suspects.
Oh, well, I've been spending most of my time at the local hospital that we have here, working my way up. Unfortunately, I'm no longer the head nurse. I'm sort of working in the ER.
They don't take anybody there that's already deceased, right?
The Alrac medical ward?
Yeah, I'm just wondering if they put Templeman through there, or they just like kept her to themselves because she's a general.
I don't remember
I
them
think-
bringing her in. That
I think they kept that to themselves. I don't think that information's out just yet. So
Yes, if it's an important figurehead and the royal guards got to it first, it's probably going to go to the castle.
I mean, we did tell her to be careful, but wouldn't it be funny? Well, not funny. It would actually be beneficial if it flushed the person out that did it, because now she's alive. It means they failed.
She kind of like tugs a bit of her clothes, finishes the drink.
But nobody knows that but us and the queen.
I don't know. I just remember Dallas. I've never met him before. I just heard stories.
Good or bad stories?
Oh, good stories. They were competitive against each other. Nothing
I don't know.
aggressive.
I'm like, I don't know if you're making potions to make people cluck like chickens.
It was a part. Well,
I'd rather have made her cluck like a chicken than murder her, then we wouldn't be in this mess. Then she probably would have just slapped him upside the head.
well, I'm gonna take my. I need to rest.
You can rest in our room.
No, or you could rest in Moscow room.
Oh, he's a third floor. Don't worry. I know. Never remember. She kind of goes towards the elevator, sort of embarrassed that she already knew by heart where his bedroom was, and
I mean, I wouldn't expect...
And then I'm gonna say to the party, so how did she know exactly where his room
They're
was?
married.
They're married.
Roly.
Like,
Sus.
why would I just...
I'm like, I'm surprised she even asked. She didn't just show up.
Yeah, I'm like, why would I expect any less? We've all met Moscow.
The one thing I wanted to ask you, Vera, though, is she's safe here. Do you think she's safer here? Shouldn't we send them back to Uthal?
All the way over there by herself? We don't have the time to escort her, to be honest.
It's just a thought.
And he's kind of busy, and I don't want to loop her into an even bigger murder investigation. Quite frankly, I don't like that her son's a part of it, but what are you gonna do?
Well, allegedly.
Well, no, not a part of it like that. I mean like that he's the one that's tasked with investigating it for now. I mean, I'd rather it be him than somebody we don't know.
So we've ruled out any sort of physical beating. We're really focused in on this vial, this potion, whatever this thing was. And Mary did confirm that, something similar could have been done by Moscow. And if he learned to do that, then what's to say that no one else can do that same thing? Somebody with ill intentions.
Yeah.
Maybe we should go pay a visit to this. What do you call this again? Oh God, my God!
The Cauldron and Claw.
Cauldron and Claw Library.
This Cauldron and Claw. Maybe we should go pay them a visit.
Wonder if Igno knows of anybody.
He probably can get us access into the library if it's in the tower.
I think Ruby can too. I'm just wondering, since he trained with people like that, if anybody would stick out.
Let's see here. Is there anything else you guys would like to discuss before the full rest happens?
I don't think there's much we can do until we get our evidence.
There's not like, because you said this happened outside the establishment, right?
Yes.
Has like the dirt and tracks already been cleaned up, or could we take the big man out there and he do a survival check?
I'll say, because remember, they've been in the jail for a while, like a day or two, so the tracks when you were coming back to the Books and Brew has been cleared out.
Okay.
Not to mention possibly replaced by tracks of people coming in to arrest us.
Yeah.
Normal footsteps, shows of normal walk paths, so yeah.
I think I probably not so restful sleep is probably what's gonna happen.
All of you get the benefit of a long rest as each of you go back to the very top of the tower, where your room. I think this is the first time you've been back in your room. And
Since we read everything.
And everything is fully furnished. You gave money to Ellie to furnish all of your your entire room. You see that each bed of yours has a nightstand with what looks to be an ever-flickering candle, a very minor magical item that is currently just giving a soft illumination. Rolly's bed, as per requested, is a lot bigger to handle his large form. There is a weapons rack in the middle of the room where you can sort of put your weapons down and have an easy ability to grab them whenever you need them. There is an armor stand for Vera if she ever felt like donning off her armor and keeping them, cleaned and available. There is rugs and curtains, and it feels very homey. It's like you were just sleeping on, what's it called, like sleeping bags, and now you actually have a bed. So
I get on my bed.
Yeah, it has that nice feel where it's like it's brand spanking new.
Oh man, it feels like I'm sleeping on a cloud. Oh yeah.
I think Vera does the Lilo and Stitch thing where she just grabs a pillow and quietly screams in it and then passes out in her bed.
Fair. All of you get the benefit of the long rest. And as sun starts to come, for the next morning, all of you feel that sort of tightness in your back and shoulders that were just present all day. And as you wake, you have to sort of roll your shoulder a little bit of the shoulder blade, a little bit tight, just all that stuff on your mind, definitely putting a toll on the body. But you yawn, you open your eyes, you kind of get ready for the day, and finally you hear a ethereal knocking.
I'll go get it. I have to go outside with the shield anyway.
Sure.
It's too early for this.
Rolly, Savannah, you're left there to wake up slowly. As Vera, you get up. Are you still wearing your armor?
I think she probably slept with it off and then put it back. I always have it on if I'm going to go outside with the shield.
Okay.
And then she probably starts some damn coffee because she's tired.
You do so, and the knocking as you're taking your time is getting a little more aggressive.
I walk a little faster,
Okay.
but I'm still like half awake.
You walk outside, the shield in hand, and there is a single guard standing outside. Let's see here. It is a half-elven man whose hair is super blonde, like bleach blonde, that is not long at all. It's like cut almost like in a spike form, like a very even lifted. You see that he has like a cleft, sort of like a cut on the cheek, signs of him sort of being in battle beforehand, armored up as well, holding a spear, and what looks like to be a chest in one hand that he's currently carrying almost like underneath his arm. His helmet covers his entire head, but he's lifted up the gate up so you can see his face. And as you enter the door, he goes, "Good morning.
Morning.
I'm looking for the proprietors of the Books and Brew."
You found one of them.
Excellent. I have a delivery here. I've also been instructed not to leave your site until the evidence is returned back to me.
Oh, well, you might as well come in then.
Thank you. Kind of walks in.
She just goes back just 1 second. So she goes to start doing coffee.
He takes a seat at one of the chairs. He goes, "First time I've actually been in here. It's quite nice."
Would be a lot more lively, but you know.
Yes, well, unfortunately it's not my place to say anything further, only to present and oversee any investigation you're going to take place.
She's like, you could put like the chest on the bar if you want.
Oh, perfect. Are you the only proprietor here?
No, they're upstairs. They tend to need a little more sleep.
Understood.
And it's been a rough day from yesterday.
Yes, I can imagine such. Apologies for any negative experience you're having. Simple hand here.
She hands him a cup of coffee because she's half awake. Like, here you go.
Appreciate it. Do you have any milk for this?
I'll go find the milk.
I would say I came downstairs when she walked in. I just see this man at our bar, like, who are you?
Brought the evidence.
Hello, my name is Daryl.
Hi.
Hello. You also one of the proprietors that, sorry, I didn't catch your name. Looks to you, Vera.
Oh, I was getting the milk. Vera.
Vera, appreciate it. Pleasure to meet you. I'm here to oversee the investigation you take upon the evidence presented.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of which, he sort of puts a key into the chest, unhooks it. You see a bit of an arcane energy is released, and it dissipates into the air. He opens it up, slides it off to the bar, and starts to place 5 pieces of, like, 5 objects onto the bar.
Okay.
I'm gonna start looking at the objects on the bar. I'm like, okay. Savannah, by the way, just not even paying attention, start picking things up.
Pleasure to meet you. Oh, thank you. He sort of holds out the cup as you pour in milk. Appreciate it.
Oh, here, I'll find a spoon.
No, it's fine. I've got a finger. It's fine.
You have a spoon with you?
No, a finger.
Oh.
Fine.
Wait, you stir your coffee with your finger?
If I'm not given a spoon.
I was gonna
But
give
you're
you
gonna
a
give you a spoon.
Oh,
no.
apologies. I did not want to bother.
It's a bar.
It's fine.
I'll take a seat over here.
Here's a spoon.
Thank you. That's much appreciated.
Do you need anything else?
I did not ask for the coffee, but I took it.
I gave him the coffee.
Thank you so much. I appreciate anything that's being offered. And as you look at the objects on the bar, you see what looks like to be a Books and Brew kitchen knife, a steak knife. That looks like some of the metal has been bent a little bit, and there definitely is signs of dry blood. There is a large folded up envelope that has a stamp that reads from the office of Ruby Blair. There is a almost empty vial of looks like golden thick liquid, almost like honey. There's like only a little bit, like maybe an ounce or 2 left on the bottom. There are several broken pieces of glass that definitely you can see the symbol and sort of markings of Books and Brew. It looks to be from a stein. And lastly, you see what looks like to be a ripped piece of cloth, of some sort of black fabric.
Okay.
Is this envelope supposed to be the thing that got sent to Templeman's house?
The letter?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can look at the letter.
No, well, she's asking the guard.
Oh, sorry, what was the question?
This envelope, was this the thing that Templeman said was sent to her house?
No. From my understanding of what the evidence was broken down for me is that this letter was a notification of temporary closing for an establishment. I believe it was marking for the Books and Brew. He kind of...
That was on her body, then?
Yes, all of these objects were found on both the guards as well as Miss Templeman's body. On the day of the incident, he goes towards the envelope, starts to open it for you, and pulls it out, and you see it says, temporarily closed by the order of the domain counselor and the members of Health and Wellness Committee. This establishment is currently closed until further notice. He pulls that out, puts it onto the tabletop, and pulls out another one. And is a letter to the owners of the establishment known as the Books and Brew. At this time, your business will be closed until further notice. Please make an appointment with a counselor, Ruby Blair, for more information. This here was a notification of closure, temporary, of course, just until any sort of issues were sorted out.
Is there a way to get what she mentioned? She said there was something mailed to her with a bottle in it.
Yes, our investigators have informed that this, and points towards the vial, this was delivered to Miss Templeman's personal residence within the castle, and it was taken, she apparently took it with her, and it was found on her body after she was slain.
Maybe we save that one. Wait, do you have to go with us everywhere?
No, you are going to look at these evidence here. Afterwards, I'm going to collect it and leave.
Is there any way we can hang on to some of it?
Even if you have to come with us?
I have duties elsewhere. I'm sorry, you want to take
We want
what?
that vial to get looked at by somebody and maybe see what exactly it was.
Just end the vial.
It is a golden liquid, like honey.
She said how much is in there.
This is in it.
How much? It's like 2 ounces.
You think we should split the vial? We could take some of it with us, and he could take the vial back. That way we'd be done with them.
Hold on 1 second. And she pulls some out to the side.
All right. He sort of sits back down, drinks a little bit of the coffee.
You don't think Felix could tell you what it is?
I don't know if he works like that, but I can try ask him. But do you want me to just start spitting out spores in front of our guests?
Well, let me try something first. Can I? Because I remembered to do that one before you said it.
Is there a special that you guys offer? Because this is a wonderful establishment.
What kind of special? Are you a drinker?
Oh, definitely. Not heavily. I have to obviously keep my wits about me, but I definitely like a good stiff drink.
Our bartender's skilled, but currently in jail.
But I can make him something while I wait on whatever you're about to do. I can make him a drink that Moscow told me.
Oh, no. I'm just wondering if you can entice me. I can't drink right now. I'm on duty, but I definitely would love to come later. This is very
Don't we have a
wonderful place.
menu?
Wonderful.
Yeah, I'll just mage him a menu.
Oh,
We'll see what we can.
a cocktail menu.
I think there might be pastries in the back that we still might have.
Oh, wonderful.
like
Hopefully
him
you're not
better.
bribing me now. He kind
I
of
like-
laughs and chuckles.
I like him better than that other asshole. That guy was a...
Yeah, but then again, we are feeding in this one. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think if we fed the other one, he'd still have that stick up his ass.
No, he had a very big stick up his
Yeah.
ass.
Yeah.
He fed himself and attempted to feed me and then took it away.
Yeah, I think we like the
Is that
stick.
your captain?
Hmm.
That man we spoke to who interrogated us, is that your captain?
Interrogated. Oh, you're talking about Cass.
Yeah,
you-
Yeah, guy's
Yeah.
such a dick.
real charmer, that one.
Well, he reminds me of someone who stepped in shit and has not wiped it off his foot in a week.
Yeah,
Sounds right.
Yes.
Yep.
and then landed on a stick.
He demands a lot of respect, unfortunately, but he is a solid mind when it comes to sussing out ne'er-do-wells. I generally
Well,
don't work
you
with
will-
him directly too much.
Consider
He will
yourself
get none
lucky.
from He will get none from me for his very poor treatment of the people of interest, as he called. People of interest that weren't even around.
Oh, well, you have my sympathy for any.
You didn't do it. We're just saying that you're a lot nicer
appreciate
than that a-hole.
Honestly, you make some good coffee. I thought this must be imported, really.
Well, we only like to drink the best.
Can I try to detect poison and disease on the what's ever left in the vial?
Yes, you may.
You want me to read to you what it says? No?
What was that?
Do you want me to read you what it says?
No, I'm looking it up now.
Okay.
Your eyes give a quick flash of white, and you do not detect poison or disease. I will say that you do see a soft glint of magic within the vial, but nothing that indicates that it was a poison
Hey.
or carrying such diseases.
Sav, maybe you want to give it a twirl
No.
with your knife.
Oh, the detect magic down my knife.
Yeah.
You hit the butt
Alright.
of your...
I'll just hit it.
Your eyes once again expand further, giving a soft glint of light blue as you start to see a bunch of lit up magical auras coming off you and your friends. And as you focus your eyes onto the elixir, you do notice that there is a soft, because it's only 2 ounces, very soft glow of magic coming from the liquid itself. The school that you're getting from is, I think it's enchantment. Let's see. I'll confirm with you, but I believe I'm going to go with enchantment.
We got an enchantment liquid.
Well, it wasn't poison or disease, so we're
Yes.
going with a magic.
Which goes back to the theory of liquid possessor of some form.
Yeah.
You see Daryl's finished his drink.
Maybe one of us can go with Mary if she knows what that guy looks like. Maybe she can convince
Wait. Rolly, get the man more coffee.
Oh no, I'm
Bye.
fine. It's honestly I can't. It's gonna make me go to the restroom. It's fine.
You
Fine, more for me.
You can use the bathroom, you know.
Oh, I understand. By the way, quick thing of note. That, and he points to the ripped cloth, the black piece of fabric. That was found in the hand of one of the guards.
Huh.
I'm gonna gently pick up the piece of fabric to kind of look at it closer.
Roll an investigation check.
Yeah, Beck.
18?
18. It is a very... That's a good roll. It seems like it came from a top. And due to the size of the fabric, you can't tell whether or not it's from a jacket or a shirt, but it definitely has the lining of something that is worn against your chest. It looks like it comes from a very old-fashioned piece of garment. And I'm going to describe it like this. Us in the real world, when we see like pioneers and like old like English settler uniforms and dress shirts, like we look at that and we go, wow, that's like old. No one wears that anymore. This fabric definitely comes from a garment that is worn from someone who's wearing it from a very old time, like a century type of thing. Like it's old.
Does it have a smell to it?
It does. Roll me another. Actually, I should have asked you to roll with advantage because there's a particular reason. Roll me one more investigation check to see if you beat your 18.
17. One
17.
under.
Totally fine. It smells. It's obviously a little damp because it's been in the winter snow from Alrak, so it's a little damp, and it has sort of that fresh snow water scent. There is a small hint of sweat, and parchment, like paper.
Paper.
It doesn't, because Savannah and Vera have seen Olivia and before, like close up, it doesn't look like anything she was wearing the last time we seen it.
Vera, go ahead
Like,
and roll
would
me.
that be the right era of time past, like that ancient look of clothing?
You think... roll me investigation, Vera, with advantage because you have your goggles. I have to imagine Vera pulling down the goggles from her forehead, which is, I think, an image we've never even had. We just sort of hand wave that you have these goggles.
Hey man, I bought them. Might as well use them. That's a 17.
17. It's so interesting because I think with both Vera and Savannah being the only ones who actually physically saw Olivia and Oliver
Up close, unfortunately.
up close, both of them wore very dark, old-timey looking jackets. Now, due to the size, it's hard to tell if this is actually something that they may have worn, but it definitely fits the time period.
And smell of sweat and paper and parchment. Okay. I think we confirmed that this is definitely Blake related.
Oh, great. It's not like we didn't know that already, but
I mean,
Yeah, but she
How do
asked.
we-
She asked for evidence, so we can't just say it and.
the question is if that came from a Blake and it was in the guard's hand.
I mean, we've seen what. I hate to say it or reference it, but like you've seen what she could do to Uthiel. They very much could have somebody underneath their control. And then when they were done with her,
I wonder if we can figure out how they enchanted Templeton.
well,
Could we get her? Can we somehow get her memory back?
I could try a restoration spell. I don't know if it'll work. Or we could, if we can't leave here, maybe we can ask if Igno would know, or maybe what's his face?
Tell.
Roman,
That's true too.
because they're local, right?
Yeah, they're local.
Yeah. Yeah, they're in one of the wizard's towers that surround the castle.
I also gave him a big job to do the last time I seen him, but maybe he's not busy.
maybe.
Let me send a message to Igno.
Tell them to come to the bar.
Oh well, yeah, like ASAP.
Okay.
Need your help. Can you rush to the Books and Brew? Investigating the murder of the general.
You don't get a response.
Uh-oh.
A
Oh,
moment passes, and you're like, come on. And then a white crack in the middle of the room starts to crack open, and you see Igno starting to pull reality as he steps through and sort of lets the teleportation spell dispel. You're safe.
uh-huh. We also we have company, so maybe that was an entrance.
You see that Daryl's sitting with a cup of coffee going, hello.
Luckily,
Hi.
he's been quite nice. So
I mean, you guys probably relatively know of one another. Igno's
No, I don't know every. I don't know every god.
Igno's a chosen.
You see Daryl go, I know.
Okay.
okay.
Well then, this isn't as awkward. What an entrance.
It's a little
You
difficult.
do know we have a door, right?
I know, but you do realize it takes me a while to get around. I'm
It's-
not as strong
Fair.
as I once did, and it's also very difficult to get in here due to the wards.
Oh.
But I'm familiar, so it was easy for me.
Well, I did say rush. You did do what I asked.
Also, the first words come out of his mouth are a response to your spell, so you hear it like in stereo for a moment, and he stops talking. And you're just like, stop! And he's like, sorry.
Even better, it's echoed
Yeah.
for Vera. Anyways, okay. I just hand Igno the bottle, and
What is this?
That's what I would like you to tell me.
I can.
What's left of it? We could gain that it's enchantment, but the general got that mailed to her house, and she doesn't remember anything, and
Then she ended up dead.
yeah.
From stabbing, not the potion. At least I don't think the
We
potion.
don't think it was the potion.
She kind of he holds up the vial and goes, looks at the guard. This was delivered to the general, correct? Daryl goes, that's right. It was. Where's the return package? Oh, it's back up in her room. Are you assigned to see over this? He kind of nods and he goes, shit. Fine. We'll have to look at that later. I'll identify what I can from the little remaining liquid that's here, and I'll let you know.
Well, we also realized, I detect poison and disease, and nothing was on it.
Well, unless it was a pathogen, of course it wasn't a disease. But good checking anyways, just in case. Clear space for me, please.
And do you want to tell her about the detect magic?
I mean, it's magical.
But
We figured that.
Yeah, we said it was enchantment.
Ah,
He starts going through the process of ritually casting Identify.
I'll go make some more coffee.
I bring more coffee.
And milk and a spoon. Spoons.
If you guys want to wait for him to finish investigating this, you definitely can. Or if you want to do something else while he's doing this.
So we looked at the potion, we looked at the cloth.
We got
Is there anything else on the steak knife other than it being our steak knife?
With your 18 investigation check, I'm going to say it also rolls up to this. There is some frozen dried blood on it. But unless you have some sort of tools to, like, this is like getting really into like CIS type of scenario. Unless you have like some tools. CSI, sorry. Essentially, it's going to be very difficult to tell.
So the blood, and then I'm assuming there's also maybe like blood on the stein, or the stein is just there.
Well, it's cracked.
Yeah,
right?
it's cracked. You remember that most of the other like bloodied stein glass pieces were actually in the body of Myrtle Trumpman when she came back. This looks like residual glass that was shattered into the snow.
By chance, is it stained with what it might have had a drink in there, or just
Oh,
glass pieces, or ceramic pieces, I should say?
you know what? I think so. You find residual frozen still to the corners, like the very edges of the bottom of the glass. Just you could smell it too. Sort of this feline instincts of just kicks in as your eyes go a little bit dark and wide. As you sort of just rely on that one sense. It smells like very, very light, like sweet mead. And your mind goes back to that singular ticket, and there was an order for a drink, and there was a note that says for mead.
So meat and steak.
I'm gonna bring out the. What the hell was this guy's name? Daryl.
Daryl, yeah?
Are you allowed to add evidence to the case, or can you only bring that back?
I need to bring this back, but if there is any evidence that you find, I can definitely take it back.
She puts down the ticket.
Oh.
The reason why we don't think it was our friends is because somebody oddly ordered a steak, that cup, with a drink in it. And she shows him the little ticket.
I see. Well, I'll definitely have to take this into account. It's not up to me whether or not this is going to be inputted as evidence, but it is something to have and something to consider.
Oh, I know, but just coincidence.
Understood.
That lines up.
Honestly, it's very enjoyable to see you guys work.
And the envelope you already read to us, right?
Correct.
On the envelope, it just says it was from Ruby's office. Is there anything else, like any other type of return address or anything else on it that might be stand out?
No return address, but it does have the official stamp of Ruby Blair's office. Nothing really in terms of a return address.
Because it's Savannah, does it look like a forgery to her?
Roll an
Or does
investigation
it look
check.
real?
I can't give
You know-
guidance.
You can give guidance.
Okay, I didn't know if this guy was like that sus.
That's sus.
Can I cheer Savannah from the sidelines?
For sure. That means you have
Pom-pom
advantage
style?
and guidance.
Go, Savannah, you can do it. See if
It's
that's a
unnatural
forgery.
winning with the guidance.
All right.
Go team.
You start to look over it. There are. I'll say, since I don't think you have any official documents from Ruby Blair to compare.
Here.
We don't have like the deed to the books and brew.
That wasn't written by her.
Damn.
Yeah. But I will say,
Would Daryl have anything on him, like an official order,
unfortunately,
warrant, something?
no. But the thing is, this is where your background comes into really play here. You know, regardless of how perfect you can make a forgery, there's always that stop in a line whenever you write something, just to make sure that you're keeping in line with the forgery you're trying to make. There's always a tiny slip up, something minuscule, something small enough where you can tell that there was a break, there was a hesitation in the hand, and anyone who's making forgery knows that you have to be quick, concise, to make it perfect. There's never a perfect forgery. This one, you start to follow the lines, and it is absolutely perfect. You know, because of you've done this before, this is not a forgery.
Yeah. Okay. Well, documents are real.
Ah, I have it.
Oh.
Here, sort of stops with the 10-minute ritual spell. Don't have a name for it just yet, but it definitely seems of a smith variety.
Shit.
Seems like it makes use of the some sort of forced movement of a being, as well as a very strong implementation of the suggestion spell.
Movement.
Essentially giving a subject a course of action.
Can you write that down and like sign it or something? Because we're gonna have to put this in for an investigation to clear their names.
He reaches outwards, flicks his wrist, and a small little pocket, using wrist pocket the spell, pulling into what looks to be a miniature looking like demiplane, pulls out a paper with, you see, like domain chosen and sort of monogrammed with his own details. And he's like, pulls out a quill and starts to my assessment and full investigation for this object, for the vial and what's the inside. Though we don't have official name for it, I will put down the added effects that it was meant to have.
And type of spell, you said.
Understood.
The combination.
Do you think if I did like a lesser or greater restoration on her, she would remember? Because she says she doesn't remember after opening that.
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm literally asking Igno.
Igno
Like-
kind of looks up and he goes, Smith spells are quite unpredictable in what they provide and don't. I know for a fact that the suggestion spell cannot be undid, or like you can't remember if a restoration spell is provided. My professional assessment is no.
Darn. Is there anything we could do to get her memory back? Be a big help.
I'm sorry?
Is there anything we could do? that you-
I do not know.
Maybe Mary would know. Maybe it's a less magic thing and more of like a medical thing.
Maybe.
Oh, maybe we could like... I don't think she'll like that. Fear's like, maybe we could hypnotize her and she'll remember.
You will also remember that when Meryl Templeman woke up, the back of her head hurt intensely.
Oh yeah, maybe it was just a blow to her head. Damn.
Oh, since we just remembered that, shouldn't we say something to Mary?
Yeah.
Since we just remembered that.
Okay.
Also, I think we're gonna have to investigate her office eventually.
I think we told them that, but we'll see.
Wait, Daryl, what are the chances you can get us into Templeton's office today?
Oh, well, the instructions given to me to pass down to you is that if you wish to look into Miss Templeman's private quarters, I can assist you with that. I can lead you up to her room if needed.
1 second, let me go get the nurse.
Oh, you have another proprietor.
Well, something like that. Married to?
Well, so we could hand wave saying Mary comes down with you, Vera.
I'm telling her about the thing that we just magically remembered about, like, her head hurting and her not remembering.
Mary kind of gives an assessment saying, I suppose someone hit.
No, I know, but like, have you ever seen anybody, like, how long it takes to get maybe their memory back? Like, a long time? Does it ever come back?
It depends on case by case, really. If they were hit in the back of the head, that can definitely jumble up the brain a little bit, causing a bit of trauma. I mean, if they were struck from the back, they're not going to see the person.
Yeah. Well, I think it's you better come with us anyway, just to be safe.
Oh, okay.
Besides, we may be able to use that brain of yours.
So Daryl sort of goes, well, if you all are done with the objects in question, the evidence, I will take them back. And then I can escort you up to the palace, into the castle.
Can we bring Igno?
Say, Igno, you're coming, right?
Of course! I have duties later in the evening, but my morning is free.
Okay, good. More eyes, the better.
Absolutely. He starts to collect, Gerald starts to collect the objects, puts them back into the case, closes it up, traces a finger along the edges, and a bit of pearlescent energy locks it into place. Well, appreciate it for the coffee, and whenever you're ready.
I think we're ready now.
Excellent. Come follow me. We'll hand wave a little bit, saying that you are led outside in the Books and Brew. The arcane elevator taking you outside as you start to hear the crunch of white snow underneath your boots. A whole crew behind you as Mary and Igno start to follow behind. Mary, a little, like, they're old enough, like, they're both old, but Mary's better shaped. Definitely has not, like, kept herself in an office all day and is, like, helping Igno walk. She's like, come on, it's fine. He's like, I know. I used to know spells that allow me to glide, but I've lost that. And they continue to walk.
I do have a note that says, look out for an arcane tome for Igno. So you see, asked us to look for one.
You are led into the castle as several guards sort of look at Daryl, and he's like, don't worry, they're with me. Sort of goes past. You are led upstairs. There are numerous towers into the castle itself, and you're taken to one with a spiraling staircase that leads to different pathways and hallways. He sort of turns a left, takes another right. You can see outdoors, you can see the gigantic frozen pond that is several hundred feet down. So let me go and give a quick rundown and sort of a reminder to you guys. Alrak is built on a ascending cliff, and the castle is right at the end of the cliff. You are currently right here, looking down at the bottom of the cliff, and the bottom is just a U-shaped, gigantic frozen pond that sort of surrounds the city. You are led into a door as it opens, and you see a large room, heavily decorated with symbols of the domain, and you see a large balcony that overlooks the cliffside. So essentially, if you wanted to, like, if she wanted to, she can look out to the balcony and see just nothing but expansive water, lake, and terrain. There is a large bed. There is several armor racks with numerous arms and weaponry that are currently hanging. There is like a polish station where she currently cleans and upkeeps her weapons and armor. There is a shelf that has numerous trophies and accommodations and acolytes that show off that Templeman was inducted into the Domain Chosen and later was promoted to one of the generals here. Oh my god! I'm gonna butcher the name, but thank you so much for the raid. Everbrin.
Well,
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
General Everbren. I think I got it. Thank you so much for the raid.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Hey. Continuing on. So yes, you are brought into the Domains General, the Royal General. Just seeing numerous like clippings and acolytes, sort of showcasing that she, before she became this, she was a well-conditioned chosen. There is a small desk off to the side that has papers and quills, and there is a ripped open small box off to the side.
Oh, there's the box signal.
Oh! Kind of waddles to it, old in state, and he picks it up.
Careful.
That's fine, I'm fine. Kind of looks at it. Well, that certainly does not help.
Huh.
The return label shows, let's see here. Shows the Cauldron and Claw Library.
That's not good.
No, it is not. It's not much of a residential space that we can assess to one person.
Well, Mary was saying that Mostead studied there, so what if somebody had it out for him and sent this to make it look like him?
Mary kind of like leans over and goes, I don't know who he could have gotten angry.
Either that, or could you have something commissioned there and sent out?
Ooh,
That's an idea.
Very rare. They're very exclusive in terms of what they work. They work on a lot of experimental elixirs, chemicals. Not very open to the general public. They do work for the crown at times. From my understanding, I've never actually gotten indoctrinated, so I don't know the specifics.
So it could be anybody.
Yep.
Yeah, but that doesn't paint him in the best light, so it's like, it's really bad.
I mean,
He hasn't
yes and no.
studied
because-
there for years, but still.
But that's my point. And this didn't come from our bar. It came from that library. That actually helps us a little bit.
Yeah, more and more we look into it, the more and more it seems to point towards that library.
Do you know there's anything else special about that paper that it's wrapped in?
He starts to go through it and
I give him guidance.
give him guidance. Okay.
That
He's a
just
very
scares him. Like, does it smell of old parchment too?
I'm wondering if they have a list of people that have studied.
Oh shit!
But-
Well, I wish I could take a picture of this. And this is on your die, Temple. Natural 20 with a 4
Yay!
on the guidance. Like a hound, he picks up the package. It definitely smells of old parchment. Starts to open up a little bit, sort of the packaging a little bit, and he goes, "Oh, well, I mean, this doesn't really provide a lot of detail, but it might give us another lead. A lot of the packaging here is done actually by the Alrak Postal Service, sort of the post office that was here. Well, that is here. So in other words, someone must have went to the post office and sent this out using their own packaging services."
I wonder if they have a record. Do you have to sign anything when you use it, or you just can drop it off?
Absolutely. Yes.
Maybe we go visit them and see if they have anybody down. It doesn't have to be the accurate name, though, as we know. People could just use a different name.
Also,
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, also he finds in one of the side sort of like as he rips it open, there's like in between some of the packaging, that was not seen. Maybe due to the fact that when Templeman opened it up, was immediately affected by whatever this charm was. There is a secondary bottle that has this bright pink liquid, and sort of holds it up.
Oh,
Well,
heck is
this. Well, I suppose we don't have time. I won't do a ritual on this one. He starts to do the investigation spell, identify. It's a somewhat of an enhanced healing potion.
Oh, they sent out a force and suggestion spell and an enhanced healing potion?
Maybe they weren't intending to kill her and it went wrong.
Or she was intended to not die and heal herself and forgot the other potion? Or she was intended to heal somebody else in the process? Huh.
or perhaps she didn't have enough time to heal.
Yeah.
I mean, if the potion was left here, she didn't have enough time to heal.
Hard to tell. Well, unfortunately, my services need to end here. If you like, I can take Miss Kane here back to the Books and Brew, and I'll leave you to it.
If you want to go, Mary, you can.
I'm sorry?
Tell Mary if she wants to go, she can, or she can stay with us.
She's kind of at a loss. You know, the fact that she's in the castle, not really sure how she can contribute when there's like no body. She's like, you can always message me. It's fine.
Okay. Be safe, both of you.
Of course. And he sort of puts a hand into the open air and splits open reality as a small fabric of a crack within the world opens up, and you see beyond the portal open is the Books and Brew, and he's like, "Come now!" And he sort of walks inside.
I can see where.
That doesn't say much about the security if he was able to do that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, in regards, like, who else can do that?
I give you a guess.
I think you guys all get a sense that because Igno is privy to the very small details within the wards and enchantments, he probably has a very knowledgeable experience how to get past those. You'd have to be integrated within the castle to do this.
All right.
All right.
So we have library and we have post office.
Maybe post office only because I don't think it takes a whole lot to get in there, and if we have, and she points to Daryl, maybe they would just give us the ledger.
Unfortunately, as mentioned before, I have to leave you to your own investigation. Mine was to either escort you to Ms. Templeman's room, as well as to oversee your own investigation towards the evidence.
Can we do like one sweep around the room before we go?
Yeah, roll investigation check.
Can I help?
Go for it.
I put my goggles.
Can I help?
Yes, you can.
Oh, guidance. Much better with advantage. Let's see what guidance. Okay.
16?
16. You find
Oh, with the lantern.
the lantern. You look outside towards the balcony, and you just see these large expanse of terrain and just overall winter wilderness. I know one of the thoughts that you guys had was maybe someone snuck in and attacked her, especially with all of the elixirs being thrown around and how they have effects. You would imagine that if anyone wanted to sneak into Templeman's place, they'd have to go through some heavy shit to do so. So I would assume that sort of cuts out your mind. You're like, okay, this is the Violet that did it. It was her that asked for it. It was her body that got killed. You start to search a little bit more. You see that within one of the drawers, it actually doesn't pull out. It actually splits open. And you see a small shrine to Lathander.
To who?
Lathander.
Lathander.
Which is you see a symbol of a rising sun over a multi-hilled plain. And Lathander is a god of birth, of renewal, and vitality and youth. And your minds start to go towards Templeman, how she looked very young. But you don't know how old she was, but she always looked very young.
Prayed away that Botox. Okay.
Yeah.
God.
But nothing else sort of catches your eye.
Like, they're not like a bad god, right? Like, they're like
No, it's absolutely like loving life. Fertility, obviously, there is like the intimacy that comes with relationships, and obviously just the rebirth and babies of the youth. So it's like she worshipped that, and she was an ASMR, so it almost like she was forever young.
I think Vera whispers to Rolly and said, "That's who you worship if you want no wrinkles and babies." Well, you have to do a good job of it, I think. But she is an angel, celestial.
See if she needs a champion.
Yeah. The champion of fertility. Hello, ladies.
Hello, ladies.
My god tells me to.
Oh no.
I mean, Rolly just got rid of one god. I don't know if he wants to take out another.
It's like, this is what you want to do?
Well, hang on. There's a very significant difference between being the champion of the god of fertility and,
Youth. Yeah.
youth and whatnot. Then
Versus.
Having a
what
patron.
the hell was
Snake
what the
god.
hell was Dentar? What the hell even was Dentar? Good God. I don't even know what that was.
You don't want what? You don't want to have patronage to the world serpent, essentially?
I was gonna say it was like water snake. Yeah.
Anyway, that's it.
Okay.
I just want to take one look around before we just like upped and left and only checked out the box.
Yeah, you. Yeah.
I think we pointed out to Daryl what else is in the box, and like everything that we said come into account with like the cauldron, making it seem like it was Moscow, like as a fluke.
Are you asking to take that vial?
No, you can take it as
Excellent.
evidence. I don't want it. I'm just saying to notate it.
Understood.
And the return address.
Yes, of course.
Fishy.
Well, I'll be around. You can always ask for me, and if there's anything else I can help with, he sort of claps his heels together.
Do you know
Wait,
if we can just get into the library, or would Ruby have to like write us a note?
You can have a written. I can ask for a written request, but it is really up to the proprietors and owners of the Cauldron and Claw.
Well, it wouldn't hurt to try.
I'll stay right here. I'll be right back. Sir starts to walk away.
See, why can't all their
Orb
guards?
thingies in around this room or around the door outside
Is there any what?
of the orbs, the spell orbs.
No, there is no spell orbs within the room. Not too long.
What about just outside the door?
There is. Just outside the door. Not too long until finally you hear the quick clatter of metallic boots on the floor as he hands. Here you go.
Thank you.
Of course. Well, I'll leave you to it. Sort of makes his way out.
You know, if we ever, well, I shouldn't say ever. When we reopen, you're more than welcome to come back to the bar.
Oh, excellent. I have a good memory. I remember the cocktails on the menu. I have a few in mind that I'd like to try.
Well, hope to see you soon.
Oh, of course. You've got my patronage.
And just kind of like wave. And I'm like, all right, let's get going.
Where to, guys?
Should we go to the post office or try
I
this
guess
letter?
Let's go to the post. By chance, is the post office on the way to the library?
Well, there's a few things in mind, guys. There's obviously the post office. There's the library. I will also... I forgot to mention this as well because it was asked during the last session. There's also the witness. I'll say that before Daryl left,
That's right.
he provided you the address of where they're currently holding the witness.
Well, I think we wanted to do that in front of the Ruby or the Queen or somebody else, not just us.
He's currently being held at his house.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's like at house arrest.
Yeah, he hasn't done, the guy hasn't done anything wrong. He's just a witness, and they don't want to force him somewhere.
But like you said, if we're gonna talk to the witness, we should probably get Daryl or make someone go with us.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah.
Well, maybe we could do the other two things first, and then I could send a message to Ruby if she could either go or she could send somebody to vouch. If that
Sounds like a plan. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I'll say that the post office further down, sort of like in the middle of the city, the cauldron, or the Claw and Cauldron, is one of the numerous wizard towers that surround the castle. That's probably closer.
Guess we go to the library if it's closer. Kind of makes more sense than circling back.
Okay. You make your way out of the castle. Daryl sort of just standing out in the post and goes, "Have a good one. Be safe."
Oh wait, I ask him.
Huh.
Can you tell Ruby to either if she can go or if she can send somebody later on in the day to go to the witness's house?
I've been instructed to oversee any requests you may have. I can show up if needed.
Yeah, you
Perfect.
can go. We just want somebody else other than us just to vouch.
Understood. I will I'll move myself towards where we're currently keeping the witness, and I'll wait at post there.
Thank you.
You kind of make your way around the castle, seeing the numerous towers that are owned by different wizards and different establishments, until finally you run into what looks like a small shop, almost like a small shop, one floor, and in the middle, a very surprisingly thin tower that goes up, and then it opens into what looks to be like a giant triangle, like a pyramid on top. This large tower that goes up several stories high, and a very cutesy-looking wooden sign that reads "The Cauldron and Claw," that sits there on a string. And as you open up, you can hear a small bell, ding, 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 ding. And as you walk in, you see that you're kind of in a shop. There's a desk or a table where two individuals currently stand. Here, let me get my notes real quick. Looks to be a large, hulking Goliath, who's kind of in his older age. You can see that the skin has a lot of wrinkles. The Goliath tattoos have faded due to just sort of weather worn and just age. Sort of this whitish skin. He currently wears what looks to be very simplistic clothing. Nothing too gaudy, nothing too crazy. There are about 4 different aisles of just small little vials of glassware, some of them filled with elixirs and potions. Next to him, you could just barely see about maybe up to the mouth here, standing over, you can just see beyond the table is a dwarven man. Once again, old as well. You see the white hair sort of flured backwards into a white beard that is trimmed and kept up, looking very well kempt with a very large, small glasses on his nose. They both look up and go, "Hi, hello, welcome to the Cauldron and Claw."
He didn't have his coffee this morning.
In terms of size, guys, think of this like if you ever go to an AM/PM. You know how they're large, but they're not huge. Hello, is there anything we can get you?
Under my breath, I'm gonna say, I thought this was supposed to be a library.
This was supposed to be a library.
I thought so too. We heard that there's a library available, so this is a little different.
Oh, well, if you're looking to join the library, may I have a name? I can put you down on the waiting list.
We
How
have
long's the waiting list?
we have this note.
You see the Goliath goes, "Don't worry, honey, I'll grab that." Sort of reaches out, grabs it. Looks at it. Ah, I see. Is there anyone in particular that you're looking to talk to?
1 minute.
And as for your question, Miss, there is. He starts to pull out a ledger and starts to flip open a page. Goes 1 page, 2, 3, 4, and you just see lines of names.
I think we're good with the note.
Anyway.
Looks like you're looking at a 3-year waiting list.
Oh, I think if we can speak to a Dalius Killian?
Oh, Dallas! Well, let's see, is Killian here? Let me check there's another ledger that, like, it seems like there's a chaos organization here to sort of slip through.
Guys are, wow, that is
Yes,
a lot.
he's currently, I think he's upstairs. Great! Well, follow me, and I'll get you to the waiting room.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The Goliath sort of steps back to make room for you guys as they currently lift up sort of like a drop door so you guys can go behind. And you are led into the smallish room that starts to grow as you step in, as lights start to alight on the top. And you start to realize this shouldn't be here. By the outside size of the room, this hallway that goes on for about 15 feet, structurally doesn't make sense. And as you are led indoors, you continue to walk, and the light stops becoming morning. Like, it's no longer warm sunlight. It's now become a cool blue, almost like moonlight that starts to shine through this large circular room. You're currently standing in. You see that there is a nice furnished red velvet couches and seating spaces off to the right, with a small lit fireplace that is currently crackling. There is these large floor-to-ceiling, about 20 feet high windows that, as you start to look through them, you don't see outside. You just see a very blurred, color illumination coming out of it. Just sort of this very cool blue. Curtains that are currently wafting, like the air is actually going through the window, but it's not. You could actually feel the air too. There's a small.
I was gonna tell the Goliath. It's bigger on the inside.
Oh yes, he is a magical trick they have here. Don't worry. He kind of looks towards the Goliath. Gatari, I'm gonna stay here. You can lead I'll get visitors in here. The dwarf goes, oh, of course, that'll be fine. Let me know if you need anything. He kind of taps the back of his leg and starts to walk in. Come follow. You see numerous, about 4 pillars in the middle of this room that just go from floor to ceiling that are intricately designed. It is beautiful in here. There are also golden framed pictures of paintings of numerous classical poses of figureheads and arts. Like, you can see muses and models that slowly move, and as you walk in, almost like their heads, they're in a very classical pose, they sort of, their eyes shift over to you, give a welcoming smile, and then sort of has to go back into their pose. The paintings are just arcane in nature. There is a globe on a pedestal that is being held up by air. It's just like this arcane lifted space of the actual planet. The dwarven man sort of brings you in and goes, well, take a seat. I will send notice to the masters, and they'll lead you up to Mr. Killian.
What does that globe do?
Oh, well, it's it is the world. The world of, why didn't I write it down? It's here. I just said it what it was. It's the planet. I'm the DM. I know what the planet's called.
It started with an A, DM.
Hold on. There it is.
I think.
Inda.
Inda, not A. I.
The world of Inda.
Rolly will go
Induna.
up to the globe.
Induna. The
Okay.
world is called
Induna.
Induna.
And I'm gonna start touching it.
You touch it. There are continents and oceans of sea and islands. Is there just something do you touch a random place?
DM, I am a simple farmer boy. Grew up most of my life in a farm, and then set out to be a champion. What makes you think I have any knowledge of what I'm looking at right now?
I think the question I have for you is: are you pressing down on what looks to be a clear sign of of land, or you just touch sea?
He's Nemo
I'm
and he's
looking
touching the
at it.
butt.
It's
Oh,
literally
you-
like hitting globe, just poke globe.
Okay.
I have no idea what any of this is. Like I've never seen any of it.
Okay, then I'm gonna say that you say you touch it, so you put a finger down to maybe spin it, but the moment you press a finger down, you touch your finger touches like ocean, and a small like a projector of just projection of water. And as
that's
you
so cool.
remove your finger, the projection returns.
I do it again.
Okay, you touch it again, you touch another water.
Touch a piece of land, Rolly. Not the blue
'Kay.
part, the brown parts.
Okay. Okay, Mom.
No, I just want to see what
Do it again.
happens.
You touch land, and you see the words, this is the continent of Mostead.
Oh,
And you see what looks to be almost like a 3D version of the actual continent. Just the actual plate of the land just sort of spins.
And then, do I see anything else around it?
There are several small islands that surround the continent of Mostead. You start to look at the other sides of the globe. You see what looks to be a collection of 3 islands together, all clumped up together. And then what you see looks to be a strangely shaped, nearly touching 2 continents or 2 pieces of land to the west of Mostead.
You were mentioning some islands, and they were different sizes.
Yes.
I touched the biggest one.
You touch the biggest one. These are the archipelagos of Nomad. And then it says, Aria.
What the hell's a nomad? Guys?
we
What's
talked
a
about
nomad?
this.
We've met people
from there.
Oh. I never heard of it. Dad didn't talk about this.
We talked to them when we were at the party with the invisible
Stalkers
stalkers.
and Lily.
Oh, you mean the things that tried to kill us?
No,
I
they were
mean-
actual people that were from there visiting.
Not them, but the stalkers, the things
Yeah.
that tried to kill us.
Yes.
I see the other set of islands you were talking about, the other pieces of land. I touched that.
The next one you touch, right next door, sort of south, and it goes, the archipelago of Nomad, Mandalay.
Ooh.
And you start to see
Mandalay.
the island starting to spin.
And there's not detail, right? Or there is
No,
detail?
it's a lot of it is like,
It's just the map blown up. It's
Essentially,
not,
yeah.
Not like zoomed in or anything. Okay.
Do I see any other big pieces of land or any plates or anything like that?
there is actually a large land mass to the west of Mostead.
I touched that.
You see actually 2 of the land pieces reach outwards. That they are barely separated by like you can't tell that by the full size because you're looking at the globe, but they all both extend outwards. This is the land of Vintier.
Vintier. Guys, you ever heard of that?
Have we heard of that?
I think the name has been thrown out here and there.
I thought so.
It's one of the big. It's not as big as Mostead. It's a smaller continent that holds, I believe, a singular country.
I think we've only heard of it in passing, really. I don't think we've met anybody from there.
It's like someone telling you that there's a Europe. And it's like,
What's
oh,
a Europe?
yeah.
What's a Europe? Anything else on there that might look cool or that would probably strike Rolly's eyes?
There's small islands all around.
Anything big, massive, bigger than Mostead, if you will?
There is they're like these icy continent plates that are on the north and south of the globe.
Ooh, I touched the one on the top.
Let's see here.
I like to imagine that Rolly's just poking this globe and this dude's gonna walk in and be like, what the hell are y'all doing in here?
I am a simple farmer boy. I'm learning, alright? I am learning.
It's like a kid in the museum. You put the display in front of you. It's like, what's this? Yeah.
I'm learning.
Push the buttons.
Where did I write it down? Hold on. You touched the north one, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Education.
You press the north one and it goes up and it's fully covered in ice, starts to spin and goes, the icy tundra of North Crawl.
I touched the other one on the bottom.
The icy tundra of South Crawl.
So there's a north crawl and a south crawl. Which one's colder?
I mean, based off the map, I'm gonna assume they're both cold.
But which one's colder?
Well, which one's further away from the sun?
Probably the bottom.
We don't know. We don't know.
You ask that question out loud, and not too long does a white furred tabaxi, male, very skinny in form, sort of elongated snout, long whiskers, and he's currently wearing like what looks to be like almost like a heavy cloak, sort of wraps around him, and he goes, actually, South Crawl is generally seen as more of the more lowered temperatured of continents.
Oh, I was right.
Why?
Understanding, much like my tabaxi friend here has informed, it is a little further away from the sun. Hello. You may
Hi.
I'm understanding that you would like to speak to Mr. Killian. We call him Moth here. My name's Butterfly.
Are you a butterfly?
No, but it's a chosen name I have.
Oh, okay. So you're not actually a butterfly. So you're a cat butterfly.
You can say such.
Yay! I am learning. See, guys, I told you I could get smarter.
Welcome to the
Learned
Cauldron and Claw Library. My understanding is you have a, well, to put it plainly, a court order.
Something like that.
Yes. Very rare that we give invitation to those outside of the order who have not been approved. But today, because of the court order, we'll make an exception.
Thank you.
Of course.
Don't mind him.
What? It's education. I want to get smart.
His specialty is with arms and...
Are you a seasoned explorer? He kind of looks to you, Rolly.
I've been around.
Excellent. Well, if you happen to find any undiscovered islands or pieces of continent that is not on that globe, please let me know.
Well, I'll be honest. It's the first time I've seen this.
Oh, well, that information is free for the public. We provide it to outside sources whenever we can.
Oh, you mean I could take it?
Information, not the globe.
Oh,
You've seen maps before, Rolly. Just not a
but
globe.
not like this.
So it's like a circular map.
Yeah.
Not
Yes.
like this.
The planet we live on is a circular shape.
Oh, I always thought it was flat.
Some believe that,
That explains a lot.
but they are wrong.
Damn. Damn.
their breath.
Damn.
That explains a lot.
Well,
Yeah, this is. I've seen a lot of maps before, but not like this. This is a. I mean, if you're telling me that this right here is Mostead,
yes.
I-
We are
then-
right. He starts to pull a small claw. He goes, we are right here. Sort of points to a little northern side of the continent.
oh, yeah, this map is huge. I've never seen anything like this before.
Well, it is the land you call home, I believe. You from Mostead?
Yes.
Well, it is your home.
Hi, home. Look, Savannah, I'm right here.
Uh-huh.
Well,
Yeah, so we're here to see. Is it Dallas or Dahlias?
Dallas.
Dallas.
We call him Marthia.
Moth.
Moth.
What's. I mean, I don't mean to be rude, but what's with the names?
Upon entry, it's been a long honored tradition here within the library to provide yourself with a clear, concise name, code name. We do like to ensure that those members within the library are kept private. It is a very esteemed establishment to get into, and there have been moments where people have gone missing when they have announced.
What was Moscow Price's name out of curiosity?
Mr. Price, Fire Beetle.
That fits.
That fits. So this isn't an actual library. This is like a collective of people.
Yes.
Like a society, a secret society.
We are the library.
Is this a cult?
Is it a cult? No, we don't worship anything.
Huh.
Wait. You do magic, right?
Me?
Yes, you, butterfly.
Very light magic. Most of my workings are done within a laboratory.
He does stuff like
So
Moscow
you-
does.
So you research.
We do.
Is research not the pursuit of knowledge?
It is.
Therefore, you worship knowledge, eh? Eh?
More along the lines we practice and
Eh?
explore knowledge. Worship is more along the lines of providing all of your waking life towards a single individual or being. This is more exploring and expanding the mind beyond all facets. Right now, for the cauldron, the claw and cauldron, we focus on the alchemical. If you haven't noticed, well, you can pretty much thank our organization for any numerous of chemical and potions that you may have experienced along your way. We established chemical infusions, timed release health potions, as well as potions of true sight. They all came from our organization.
Time
Do you
release
guys
health potions.
do orders for other people or?
On a rare occasion, depends on the individual.
Did we keep the wrapping from the
No,
package?
he had to take it as evidence. Well, let's just say your name came up in a very interesting way, and that's why we have
My name.
No, not your name.
Well, no,
the name of the
yours.
library.
The library came up.
Well, Vera, before we get there, so you mentioned that you do a lot of alchemy here, lots of timed concoctions, if you will.
Yes.
And that you sometimes sell to, specific individuals. Is that correct?
We generally avoid that. The rare occasion that we do sell outside, well, I should be clear. The creation of infusions, timed health potions, and the potions of true sight came from our organization. We explored and invented those and provided it to the general public. Now we've basically instructed those who wish to sell the ingredients and how to make it. The things that we make upstairs are more advanced. Those only are provided to select individuals, whether it's for the crown or very high and trusted diplomats.
Could you give me an idea of what those advanced concoctions might be?
Unfortunately, I cannot. Unless you are a part of the organization, I cannot provide any strict details.
But if
Okay.
you did provide an advanced potion to someone, you would have records of that, correct?
We would. For any sales made, yes.
What about if it was for the crown?
For the crown, we would have records by the individual who made the potion.
Can we see those records?
Excuse me?
I said, can we see those records?
Unfortunately not.
Even with our little letter?
No.
What if we told you what the potion was? Can you point us to who made it?
Unless I was involved in the creation of said potion, I'm not sure if I'd be able to provide that details. It would depend really on who was making it. Let me show you around. Maybe you will get a better understanding of how we work here, and then that may help your investigation.
Yeah.
He turns around, and there is a almost like a fan. Like, you know how fans are like curved but meet in the middle and make a giant circle?
Mm-hmm.
There is a fan etching on the floor of this marble floor. He stands right in the middle, takes a step left, and goes, stand there, and stand there, please. And sort of points to where the fan actually goes out. And as you take your standing, he puts a hand down as a staff hits the middle, and the entire fan starts to spin and expand into a spiral staircase. So you're standing on the top, it actually starts to lift you up. And we will see where this leads you after the break. So we're going to take a quick 10-minute, guys. We'll be right back, and we'll see what you guys find in the Cauldron and Claw library. See you guys then. Hello, everyone. We're back.
Boo!
We are rejoining the three griffins as they're currently taking up into the secluded and exclusive Cauldron and Claw, or Claw and Cauldron. I keep getting those mixed up. It's Cauldron and Claw.
It's Cauldron and Claw.
Library, as they're being led by Master Butterfly, a white-furred tabaxi man, currently bringing them upstairs as they continue their investigation of the death, already reborn, or brought back, but the death of Myrtle Templeman. As you are lifted upwards on this expanding circular staircase, you are brought into. Oops, excuse me. You are brought into a. Let's see here. You are brought into what looks like to be an open, large, like you saw outside. It was like a triangle-looking space. None of this keeps to the structural integrity of what it was outside. It is a large oval-shaped room that sort of stops in an hourglass point and then expands again into another circular, so much like a figure 8 shape. There is a couple of seating spaces. There is a storage lockers on the right-hand side. There's a seating space to the left, storage lockers to the right. There is a small desk up in front, and as you peer outwards past sort of that point, sort of closes in and expands again, you see numerous doors on the opposite end of the room. Currently outside, speaking to one another, you see a human woman, red hair, sort of puffy, wavy red hair, as she currently has like ash and soot on her cheeks that she does not even care to wipe off. She's currently wearing like worker's clothes, and she's talking to an elven man with like a greenish tint to his skin, bright yellow eyes, short hair, and some of the bits of the points of his hair looks like it's been burnt off. And they're talking to one another, kind of laughing, as the tabaxi sort of leads you in. He gives a wave to the other two. They kind of look towards the tabaxi and sort of give a nod of respect. And the tabaxi turns to all three of you and goes, "Welcome to the internal sanctorum of the Cauldron and Claw. Here's where we do a lot of discussion. Personal effects are left here within storage, and a lot of the personal rooms for experimentation happens here. Now, according to what was provided to me downstairs, and by the letter you provided, you are looking to investigate the Cauldron and Claw. Unfortunately, I can't have you have full reign, but you have given a specific name of Mr. Dallas Killian, or Moth, as we call him here. If you'd like, you may investigate his room and talk to him.
Thank you.
He leads you inside, and as he leads you into that point where it sort of narrows in and then expands again, you find yourself in a circular hallway that connects, so a full circle. And there are numerous doors leading to like if you were looking at a donut, like you are going around the donut, and there are numerous doors that go into the same circle. And you see names that say Moth, Hornet, Silverfish, Grasshopper, Butterfly, and Beetle. He leads you to the one that says Moth, and he goes, "Let's see if he's home." Sort of knocks on it. A second goes by, and finally the door opens up, and you see a large square stone room. Again, none of this is like, everything's magical here. A heavily stoned square room inside of this circular donut, and a blue-skinned Triton sort of steps out. You see that his scales have been a little bit, like if has been singed or burned off due to acid. His forehead has a few markings here, almost like he's been sweating and rubbing whatever chemicals have been there. He's wearing these large, like thick gloves, and an overall, and he goes, "Yes, hello. Oh, Master Butterfly, hello. What can I help you with?" And he goes, "Hello, Moth. We have a few people from the Crown looking to do some investigation, and they mentioned you by name. Please provide our guest with the utmost care and professionalism." He kind of looks towards you. 3, please step in.
Lightly step in.
Right away, Dallas or Moth goes, "Yeah, come in." Kind of goes towards a desk off to the side. That looks like there was numerous explosions happened in here. You see markings of like soot and like fiery, like actual like markings happened on the floor, ceiling, and walls. It smells acrid in here. There's a table with numerous like glass chemicals and beakers and Bunsen burners that are here with numerous multicolored liquids that are tubing around, turning into smoke, getting captured, and then dripping into another mixture in glass. He kind of sits down in this really rickety wooden chair. Butterfly closes the door, and Dallas looks at you and goes, "All right, what do you need?"
You know Moscow, right?
Oh, wow. That's a name I haven't heard in a while. Yeah, I know him.
Do you guys work together often?
We worked together, yeah, a few years ago. It's been a while. Why? What happened to him?
You like the guy?
He's alright. Kind of stuffy.
Just all right.
He's a stuffy guy. He was to himself. He didn't really talk a lot. And then one day he just got up and left.
He's not so stuffy anymore.
That's a surprise. I don't believe you.
He's a bartender / fire dancer now.
No, I don't believe you. He starts to mess with something. You see me, like he starts to pull a string, wrap it around something.
Hold on,
He's
I
like
wanna see how
currently
something
doing like experiments. Was that what you want to talk about, Moscow? What about him? I know him. Yes, he was a fire genasi. He worked on things. He worked on a multitude of elixirs. I don't have notes on him. Sorry, his room was taken away.
Can I do it?
Why was his room
Why is
taken
it ruined?
away?
Because he left.
that makes sense.
So once you leave, it's just that's it.
Once you abandon the library, you lose your experimentation room.
Well, why don't you tell me about what kind of work you do?
Oh.
What's your specialties?
A lot of what I work here is kind of in the evocation, sort of a grin shown, evocation school of magic. A lot of acids and base that cause an explosive result. Working on a few things.
Could see that.
Hush hush right now.
You specialize in things that go boom is what I'm understanding.
I mean, that's not my own. It's currently my... Putting me in a corner. I work on a multitude of things, but that's currently my focus. I like to specialize in bit of enchantment, bit of evocation. I'm moving past enchantment right now. Evocation is my study.
Why are you moving past enchantment?
Are you investigating me?
No. I'm just trying to get information in general. Your name was given to us by a friend. I actually don't think you have anything to do with what we have to do.
Okay, good.
Can I do an insight check, but with advantage with my ring?
Yes, you may.
Thank you.
If it makes you feel any better, you were recommended to us by Mary Kane. I don't know if that means with the.
I don't know who that is.
I'm like doing this in the background to Sam. Like,
What'd you get?
Hold on. Insight. Oh, there you go. 24.
24. You get a sense that it feels like he's running away from that school. Like, you know when someone like studies a subject and goes, I'm dropping this now and going somewhere else. There's a bit of anxiety toward, like, you can feel it coming from him. Like the mention of like, what else do you study? Is like he had to really squeeze out enchantment, but he's trying to, much like someone trying to control a conversation, is trying to lead you away from enchantment in total. And to Savannah's question, he goes, I don't know. I felt like a change. You know, that's what all we do here. We're all about exploring everything.
So, do all of you guys have different specialties? Like, how does this work? Because
no. If you want to get into the Cauldron and Claw, you have to be on the waiting list. You have to show promise. You go into somewhat of a temporary status of acceptance. You're kind of made as a ward. You get to learn from one of the teachers here, and if everything goes well and there's an opening, you can become a member. Took me a while to get here. I showed some promise, and then from there, you're kind of let loose. You're like a dog without a chain. You can experiment with all sorts of chemicals and concoctions and magic, and you can create a lot of things. We're just let loose. Freedom.
you allowed to let loose to harm other people, though?
A lot of what we make here is to advance the craft of alchemy. We try not to harm people. You can see him like swallow a little bit.
Vera's not liking this at all. Like, she's thinking before she speaks, but she's very much reading him the whole time Savannah's talking to him.
Anyways, what else do you need? Is that it? You can leave now.
No, okay.
Oh.
No. So here's the deal. We have a potion and became into our possession that apparently came from here. We're trying to understand who made it, talk to them about it. It's actually a really impressive potion.
What did it do?
It was a form of force and suggestion.
An enchantment potion.
Okay. It certainly could be done here.
Mm-hmm. Is there a way to identify who may have made it?
I can go... I don't believe so. Roll me an insight, everyone.
I'm assuming like that's.
Can I do that with
suspicious.
advantage with my ring? I just do
Yes.
it, right?
Yeah, you can, because he's lying.
Uh.
But we'll see if your characters know that.
13 plus
9, so 20,
Fuck you.
22.
Hold on, I'm
She
gonna
has
roll for-
good insight.
Insight's gonna be fairly low for me. It's 13.
Okay.
10.
10.
Especially,
Uh,
I'm just gonna throw this out there. The guy said they have a record of who makes spells. And
Yeah.
he
That
just
is a
said
good point.
he couldn't tell us. He
So,
couldn't show it to us.
He's not a
though.
very charismatic person and didn't roll very high. All of you catch sort of that hesitation. His eyes go straight to his desk and then back to you, like, don't look there. And he goes, no, again, all of it is very free-forming, so it's kind of hard to keep records.
Where is he looking right now?
At his
He's looking
desk.
at his desk.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think
Hey,
of something
Broly,
real
don't
fast.
you think we should get one of those desks for the books and brew?
You know what? Looking at it right now, this deck actually looks really nice. I'm gonna start making my way to it slowly. Like,
wait, hold on,
The
wait.
I
craftsmanship,
think Allie would
the
really like
attention-
one of those workstations.
Yeah, I can tell you where I got it. That's my personal desk. Please go away.
But I want to see it up close. You know, it's just the intricacy and just the woodworking. It just looks.
Fine, you
It's
can look at
stellar.
it from. Yeah, stand a step away. You're touching it.
And then I start like moving my hand alongside it.
You just see numerous drops of sweat.
You okay there, Dallas?
He's touching my personal property.
I mean, he's just looking at a desk. It's
we
just
hold,
a desk.
Well, we hold a lot of secrecy here.
What kind of secrecy?
Keg, and you just see him like
Keg?
starting to get flustered.
Listen, Dallas. You can either tell us what we want to know, or we'll just get it out of you one way or other. But you're not doing a very good job. I think you know a little bit more about that enchantment.
Or at least an idea who made it.
Can't.
You can't. Why? Listen, you said
Okay,
you don't.
wait. You said you can't because you can't, or you can't because you physically can't.
First one. I can't. If chemicals are weird. If you introduce an outside source to a very rocky compound, it is possible for one compound to dissolve the other. Outside sources keep one compound from reacting. Almost as if they're watching.
And I'm gonna go up to him and say, what was his name again? Sorry,
Dallas,
Okay.
Killian.
Dallas. I'm gonna say, Dallas, listen. I'm gonna level with you. I've seen some shit. I've done some shit. Shit my dad would not be proud of. Shit that my dad would probably disown me for. Tell me, Dallas, do you believe in an afterlife? Do you believe in something beyond life?
He kind of
Death.
like leans around early to look at Vera. It's Vera. Are we still doing double speak? I don't understand what he's trying to.
He doesn't really do double speak. You kind of
He doesn't do their double speaks.
Dallas, on me.
Rolly,
Dallas?
Rolly.
Dallas,
What really?
before these beautiful women try to stop me from what I'm doing, I'm going to tell you this.
Yes, I believe in an afterlife.
Okay. Okay. And I'm gonna just like go into like very, very close to him and whisper, if you do not tell me what I want to know, the gods themselves won't be able to help you to what I'm gonna do to you.
Roll me an intimidation check.
Hey, while Rolly's threatening him, can I go through his desk?
Roll me a sleight of hand check with disadvantage. Because his eyes... Rolly's currently standing at the desk.
Right at the
Excuse
desk.
me, he can't stop me.
That's true. We'll see.
That's a 28.
28. He kind of swallows a bit and goes, if I tell you, I will meet those gods regardless.
It's 18, by the way.
If you tell me, I may be able to help you.
You threatened to send me to the gods.
No,
I
no,
don't
no,
believe
no.
you.
No, that is not a threat. That's a promise.
Oh, God damn it, really?
Same.
Now, enough.
What'd you get, Savannah?
18.
18. His attention is currently on Rolly. You start to go towards his desk. It's locked.
Do I want to try to pick it? And... Yeah, I can. Can I try to pick it?
Yeah.
Dallas, there's a...
Not 20.
Oh,
Oh, I'll say with that sleight of hand, you already knew it was locked. Like, you were like, this guy will have locked his stuff. Quickly. Then you open it. You find... Let's see here. You find several notes about workings that he's had. You find like random notes about chemicals that he's perfected and that he's currently holding onto. One of them is what he calls bard bubbles. And notes explain that upon releasing this ichor onto the floor, it'll start almost immediately creating these like ever-present bubbles that you can speak into, and they will you can ask them to expel sound, and essentially you can make music out of them. You start to go through some of the other notes, and you find a ledger on other creations he's made. One of them is a golden infused elixir with the suggestion spell combined with another one to make somewhat of a very almost persuasive like spell that is almost immediate upon smelling.
take the ledger.
Take the ledger. Close the drawer.
What were you gonna do?
Actually,
oh, sorry, go on. What was that?
I was saying I'm gonna kind of keep it like kind of hidden, and put the finger, my finger is on that page to kind of like slide it to Vera. Be like, hey.
I think her hair turns just like red, but like she understands that this guy is probably not operating underneath his own will.
Not that, but it's a matter of.
He
What do
looks
we
to
do now?
his attention is on Rolly right now, and so as you say it was a promise, Rolly, he goes, "Here's my promise. Promise is, I'm a dead man, anyways."
Dallas, does he set of eyes that are in her walls? Are they twins? Are they alike?
Mans,
I didn't hear you.
a man.
Are you familiar, Dallas? Obviously knowing that there's something beyond life and death. Are you familiar with the concept of undeath?
Yes, necromancy is a already established school here. We need to
Good,
change the
good.
subject.
Yes.
How about this? Are you allowed to go out for dinner?
Yeah, do you ever leave here?
Rarely.
Would you like to have dinner with us?
With the promise that he won't put his axe through your head as long
Boy,
as you don't
that is
do anything
enticing.
stupid.
Very enticing. No. I would wager my life on it that I'd rather not have dinner outside.
I'm trying to think of what would get in his head. All I'm gonna say is fire beetle's in trouble, and it looks oddly familiar.
You start to see him almost process a few things.
Familiar to here.
And I, Dallas, don't like it when Fire Beetle is going through things. And I
So we
don't like-
we all care about our fire beetle.
Yes and no. Of course, I'm gonna do something to those responsible. But that doesn't have to be you.
I'm gonna roll something real quick. He sees Vera holding his ledger. He looks to Rolly and goes, "Let me show you around. If you are all thirsty, I can make some drinks. Please, though, put any drink you have on a coaster. You can find the coasters on the left side of the drawer. Let me show you around." Sort of leads you, Rolly, away from the desk.
I immediately go to the left side of the drawer.
You see just numerous stacks of paper. However, one looks like it's been touched and weather-worn a lot, like if someone was constantly looking at it and putting it back, but there's no writing.
Oh, can I put my lantern up?
In here,
Yeah.
you get blinded with
shit.
just numerous of the alchemical lights, just giving different colors of
She
illusion.
puts her goggles on, like, ow.
God, Bear, what did you do?
I wanted to
damn
see the
it.
page.
But now I can't see anything.
Did it have to be here?
You're not
Well,
in
you're
the room.
you're not in the room.
You see moonlight drop, Mr. Killian. How interesting. In different language fonts, like almost like someone was writing in numerous languages. And then a second letter that reads, "Let's talk, Mr. Killian." Savannah, you recognize this because you've done this before to people. This is a blackmail letter.
Mm-hmm. I think we kind of figured that out. He was being blackmailed. The question is by who?
He said man, he didn't say twins.
He just gives you a know-nothing tour, Rolly, because it's a simple square room, and he goes, "This is where I do explosions. Interesting, yes? Here's where all the beakers. I do chemical stuff here."
Put
And he
the
turns
lantern
around,
away.
sees that you've stopped rifling through his drawers, and he goes, "All right, tour's done."
Thank you.
Doesn't have to be you. Let me help you.
There's nothing more I can provide.
He's not really. It's just how it's gonna look to somebody else.
He kind of, is that what you say out loud?
Mm-hmm.
He goes, "Oh, you leaving?"
Yes,
Well,
Mr. Killian.
you mentioned, you know, the mail's been odd lately.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that
Yeah,
has.
yeah, you could
It
say
has.
that.
It's been very odd lately. Good luck.
Can I do something? I don't know if he'll let me do it though. That's the thing.
Depends on what you do.
I think she just like lightly taps his shoulder and is like, "I'd hate for something to get lost in all this." And she casts Death Ward on him. I'd very much like to protect things before I lose them.
He kind of looks at you and almost like he doesn't know what the spell is. That's the thing.
I will say like she tries to give off like a warm feeling with it because it is like a protection spell.
Okay, he feels the abjuration sort of wash through him. He doesn't know the effect of it, but he definitely like holds his breath, and you can swear that he just whispers "thank you."
It's up for 8 hours.
Do you leave the room?
Yeah, just tell him thank you after that
Okay.
and leave the room.
As you close the door, you can hear a scream happening from where you just left.
Open door.
Open the door.
You see him on the ground. There is a smoldering smoke coming off his back, and it looks like a secondary immense large explosion just happened here. As you didn't actually hear, the way the rooms are made is that they're meant to hold in these alchemical explosions, but the only thing that was high enough to pierce it was his screamed as a almost like death curdling scream, but he's alive because of a death ward. He just wide eyes and he just sort of like puts his head down onto the stone, almost exhausted.
I'll go over and cure wounds at a 3rd level.
I think we need to just get him out of here.
Yeah. Well, I want to get him up first.
He grabs you by the shoulders as you reach down. He goes, "They were sent to the mail. I don't know who. A mail carrier always drops them off."
Yeah, we knew that part.
They had something on me. They forced me to do it. I don't know what it's being used for. All they wanted was something to force someone.
How much did you make?
One elixir. That's all they wanted. That's all they were asking for.
He's lucky. I rolled high. 25 points of healing.
Are you?
Dallas.
Yes.
Dallas.
We gotta get him out of here.
We need to get him out of here. So he's coming with us.
Nah, he's not leaving anyway to answer my question.
I don't know. It came through the mail.
From where?
There was no return address.
Me everything.
There was no return address. It always came from the post office.
We need to go there, Rolly. We're gonna take him with us. We were gonna go anyway.
I said it didn't have to be you. And I wasn't kidding. You're coming with us.
He kind of slaps your hand a little bit and kind of like nudges towards Vera. She protected me from something that was inevitable that I was warning you from. You couldn't have done anything.
Does it? I have a question. Does Death Ward stay up if it's here to use? No. Huh?
Once it's used, it's used.
Okay.
But he kind of like pats his chest a little bit. And he goes, "The sigil's gone."
There's a sigil?
He kind of opens up his coat, and you see what looks to be the remains of a burned sigil spell that was placed onto his chest.
You'll be more useful to us alive, I think. You can stay near me if you want. We're just stressed out, and I apologize. But
Where are you taking me?
For now, we're going to the post office. But then after that, we'll take you back to our bar. That's the most secure place we have right now.
You're taking me to the place where I'm getting my threats?
You're getting your threats from a bar?
No, to the post office. Were you not listening?
You don't have to go in with us. God, calm down.
I can stay with them outside. Listen, the person that has a hit on you, whether you don't want to say their name or not, used your vial to kill somebody in power. And the way that looks makes it look like you. So we need to have something to prove that it wasn't you and you were coerced into it. So we're trying to fix it, but that involves you actually complying.
I will do
We
what
have a question, though.
I will do what I can.
Yes, and for the record, Dallas, there's no I in team. We are all a team. Keep that in mind.
Okay, so I have a question because I need to make sense of this. You were getting letters from the post office that were blackmailing you to make the potions. Were you sending them out, or you were sending them right back to the post office?
Sending them back to the post office. That's what they requested. I don't know.
There's got to be. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I don't know if that means someone was waiting for it or someone there. I don't know.
We just have to look at the records if we can. They may just put your name so they didn't have to put theirs.
They knew about something that I did, and they held leverage over me.
What did you do?
I don't need to tell you.
She just saved your life. I think you might want to tell us.
All I'm going to say is that your implication basically is implying that you killed a general. So if it's not as bad as that, I probably could take it.
starting out in my alchemical career, I pulled a couple of fraud jobs.
That's it?
Changing metal. Well, it is a lot when you change several hundreds of thousands of gold or silver bars into gold. Certainly the legal system will be unkind to those who do that. Mass fraud. So yes, I was worried.
I'd be more worried about this. Yes, that's not pretty, but in what they implicated in you doing is much, much worse.
That's probably on par with the crown, but either way, you don't want a murder on your head.
Yeah.
I suppose not.
We'll just say she's better now. But you're lucky in that stance.
He kind of just hangs his head low.
Come on. You don't have to go in. I'll wait with you outside.
As you leave his laboratory, within the sort of waiting room where the other circular space is, you do see Butterfly currently waving to two of the other studies here. And he goes, "Hello, Moth. Hello, everyone. Have you finished your investigation?"
Mm-hmm. We're gonna take a nice brisk walk.
Kind of looks at Moth and goes, "You're leaving your quarters. That's a first for a while. I think the air will do you nicely." Killian sort of looks down and goes, Yeah, it'd do me nicely. Huh. Ooh, that's an acrid smell. And you see a bit of the steam coming out. Had another slip up?
Big
yes. Well, hopefully you enjoyed yourself here at the Cauldron and Claw. I'm sure you can find your way out.
one. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
You step on the circular fan-like structure and sit heads downwards. We'll fast forward as you guys walk outside, out of the shop area. Killian kind of puts his hands up at the sun. He's like, I haven't been out in a while.
You know, vitamin D is very important. Even if it's like 10 minutes, you should at least take a lap around the building and then go back in.
I can make that myself. It's quite easy, honestly. It's just a couple of chemicals.
Oh, okay. We're in this mess because of the chemicals. Let's go.
That's like the alchemist thing. It's like if they need it, they'll just make it.
It's just atoms, molecules. Put them in the right place. You make yourself whatever you want.
Yeah, well, the sun supposedly just saved your butt. So, maybe just take my word for it sometimes.
Kind of nods, and you guys, I'm assuming, walk towards
The post office? But I'm keeping an eye out now because I don't need this guy going down.
I mean, the worst that happened, he could run away, but I'm like, also keep an eye out of, suddenly darts being shot at us, something along those lines.
big thing, guys, you may want to refresh Foundry. Since we were pretty static, it kicked us out.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, you walk towards a fairly large post office. The outside, that does say Alrak Postal. There is on the left-hand side of the building, there is like a gated, like a pull-down gate opening space that leads actually into the back area where there are numerous carts and carriages and horses that are currently awaiting for delivery if there's any like out of city requests. As you walk in, it is a fairly small space. From what you can tell, it sort of stops and goes elongated. There's a right-hand side with a desk, and right in front of you there's a desk as well. There are several people here who are working. A couple of post office work hands. There is what looks to be like P.O. boxes to the left, green rugs that make a sort of small work-like space. And in front of you, you see a human woman who's sort of leaning against the counter, looking down at an angle towards what looks to be a dwarven woman as well. The human has black hair, black makeup, black clothing with looks to be a tag on her chest, and she's looking towards a dwarven woman with these silvery eyes and very like light brown hair that sort of goes down to her shoulders. She's wearing something heavy and warm. To the left of you, you see a man, human, with black hair that sort of comes to a white tip, black clothes, numerous piercings on his face. So there's two humans wearing black. There is a dwarven woman at the counter. If you look to the right, there's a secondary desk with a dragonborn man with amethyst purple scales. It almost shines like a gem. And next to him is a light blue tiefling with flower in his hair. And they're currently talking to one another. But the two ladies look up to you. The dwarven woman, actually a little more excitability, goes, "Hello, welcome to the post office. Are you mailing in the city or out?"
We're trying to trace something that was mailed to us.
Oh, do you have the package?
No?
Well, it's going to be hard to do so. And you hear the woman to the left go,
What if we had the... She elbows Killian. Do you remember the dates?
"You want him to go inside?"
No, I'm gonna tell him before. Like, do you
No,
remember
don't.
the
Did we?
dates?
Wasn't it post dated on it? That's how we know it was sent to the post office? No?
Yeah, it was posted, like, the return address was the post office.
The return address was the post office, which we thought was weird.
You see the woman go, "Did it have, like, a P.O. box or something?"
This is mailed to the general.
"Nilith, I need your help on this." Or Nillian, sorry, Nillian. And you see the guy, sort of with all the piercings, sort of looks up and goes, "Yeah? God damn it." And he gets up from where he was sort of cleaning things up and he goes, "What about a package?"
So, the package was sent to the general's office that had the return address as the post office. We're trying to figure out who sent it.
"What's your relationship to the package? Were you the sender?"
No, we're trying to figure out who the sender was.
"Then I can't help you." You see that the dwarven woman goes, "Nillian, don't be an asshat." "Fine. Do you have the package?"
No?
"Then how am I supposed to help you?"
I was hoping there would be some type of record. Who?
I thought the return address was the Cauldron at Ball.
This day is just getting weirder and fucking weirder.
What do you mean by that?
I don't know, just like people coming in, you know, Mr. Thamus is being funky, whatever. I don't know. Hey, Gleam? He kind of looks towards the Dragonborn man. He goes, "Yeah? You know about like a royal delivery with a return post to us?" "I can look. I think, I mean, Mr. Thamus usually handles that." "Well, go look." "All right." Kind of gets up from his seat, starts to walks towards the back, opens the door, and leaves. The blue tiefling gets up, now being left alone, sort of walks towards where all the commotion's happening since there's no employees here. And he goes, "Oh man, you guys have to chill out with our customers. Okay. Hi. You know, are you looking for like custom postage? We have them here. We sell them at the post office. Very cheap."
We're just trying to track down a sender of a package.
Oh, I'm sure we can help. You know, it's cool. The human, Nilian, goes, all right, you can go back now. They're very weird. It's all good. Kind of walks back, sits down. It's fairly obvious that the two humans look siblings, almost like twins, sort of like in this sort of gothic looking clothing and sort of attitude. And they just sort of like lean against the counter, just sort of looking at you guys. The woman sort of looks at you, Vera, and goes, so are you like from like the kingdom and stuff?
Something like that.
Something like that, huh? Yeah, alright. The dwarven woman goes, don't mind them. Sorry about that. They're not the most professional.
You send out a lot of royal deliveries? Or only a few?
I mean, most requests when it comes to royal deliveries are handled through our boss, but he's been...
Yeah, she said he's been a little weird.
Well, I mean for the better, and she gets cut off, and the guy, Nilian, goes, yeah, I mean, like, for the better, maybe? He was kind of a tight ass, you know? Like, 5-minute breaks, you have to take your lunch, and if you come back a minute late, you're getting written up. But so far, he's been super weird, but I'm cool with it. He just hasn't been on our ass at all.
Has this change been going on long?
I mean, like, maybe a few weeks ago.
I kind of just looked at Vera like... Is he here right now?
Alicia? He kind of looks towards the tiefling. You see, Mr. Thamus? The tiefling kind of leans over and goes, no. Wait. Yeah, I mean, I didn't see him leave. He clocked in. He should be in the back. Yeah, he's here.
Can we talk to him?
Actually, I don't think it'd be necessary.
The Dragonborn comes out and goes, I don't know where he is. He didn't leave. But, I mean,
Okay, I don't think that's necessary right now. Can we just try to figure out the sender to our package?
I think Vera's gonna go outside.
All right, bye. And so the Dragonborn waves. Oh, okay.
And she's gonna look for Dallas because she doesn't want him by himself.
Dallas is standing outside.
She's just gonna be like, you follow me.
Why?
Apparently, the person that handles royal deliveries is acting weird, hasn't left all day, and they can't find him now, and I'm not leaving you by yourself.
Okay, you left me by myself outside.
For a few minutes.
Fine. Where am I going?
Let's go around the back.
As this is happening, the Dragonborn looks to you, Savannah, and goes, well, I mean, usually he keeps a ledger on hand, especially because it is his royalty. You know, you kind of have to, it's got to have a little bit of like privacy. You know, they work in high things. Do you know who it was shipped to?
General Templeton.
Templeman. T. All right, be right back. He goes into the back. You, Vera, walk around and you see a gate that opens up for the carts to come in and out. And it is open at the moment. And as you sort of peer in, you see that there is a back room that you can see in, almost like a warehouse. That is the back area of the office, or the sort of the front store space that you guys were just in. And you see several carriages out there right now.
Do any look like they left a space?
If they what?
Like, you know how like they have like mail trucks lined up. Does like there look like there's one that left a parking space essentially? Like if there's one out or missing.
It's hard to tell. You don't know what it looks like when it's full. You know, it's not like there's marked spaces. It's just whatever's parked there. There currently are 2 carts.
I think she's gonna look around a little bit.
You see a purple dragonborn come out, kind of starts going through some boxes and some ledgers, and then immediately perks up and goes, looks at you and goes, you're not supposed to be back here. You're not supposed to be back here. I need, ma'am, please go back in front. I can get in trouble.
And she goes back out the gate real quick.
You start to what?
I said I go back out the gate real quick.
All right. Thank you. Okay, template. Starts to go through a few things.
I think she's gonna like tell Dallas like to come with her for a second.
Stop bringing me on things. What?
What? We're just walking.
And then she's gonna send a message to Savannah. And she's gonna tell Savannah that there's like a box of ledgers out here in the back. That's where this dragonborn is.
Hasn't come back to the front yet,
No, I haven't.
right?
Oh,
No, I'm asking DM. The guy hasn't come back yet, right? Yet.
Not yet.
All right. So I whisper answer. I'm like, in the back, like in the open.
Gonna have to send another damn message.
Yeah, you're gonna have to send a message. I need more information because I have an idea.
how do I describe this to her, DM? It's a better question. I know there's a gate, and there's like a back door, and they come out, and there's
Think of
like
it this way. We've all worked in office spaces that have warehouses connected.
Mm-hmm.
There is the office, and then it usually has a door that leads into the warehouse, and there generally is a space, like a driveway, where trucks, this is real world, where trucks can go in, deposit, goods, pick up something, and drive away. Think of that. Currently, where Savannah and Rolly are standing are like the offices. This is there's a post office. You see a desk where you can pay for postage. There is a PO box to the left. There is like special delivery to the right. And then there is a back door that leads into the warehouse where a lot of where the packaging happens, where a lot of the sorting happens, or maybe some internal ledgers are kept, as well as the mail trucks, in this case, the carriages. So that's what you saw, Vera, was you saw like several open gates where you see carriages and horses. There's like hay barrels and water that are kept for them. And there are boxes and pieces of paper all over the place. It's like a chaotic mess.
Okay. So I'll send the message and let her know like there's a bunch of carriages, open gates, and it's kind of just like an open mess with boxes of ledgers. He could have went out the back way. But that's where they are right now. He's back here looking through a box.
All right. Hold on 1 second. Rolly, come here. I'm gonna take out like a handful of gold and put it in Rolly's hand. I'm gonna go see what Vera's talking about. You need to distract him. So if he comes back, try to get the information, and then I don't know, be as fascinated by stamps. Keep him busy.
I can do.
Hey, here's gold.
Savannah,
Buy
you
stamps.
walk out.
I walk.
Okay.
I think we're like around a corner, so I don't want them to be like, get the hell out of here, so I don't want to be like too close.
Not too long, Rolly, do you see the amethyst colored dragonborn walk out and goes, I can't find that special ledger. I know Mr. Thamus has it. I'm not sure. Maybe he went out to lunch? I didn't see him leave. He could have gone out the back way. I don't know. But, I mean, he's here. Should be here. What time is it? The tiefling goes, it's like midday? Yeah, he'd be here. I don't know, maybe he's in the break room. I'll check the break room. Kind of gets up, walks out.
Oh, look, stamps.
The doorwoman goes, what?
Stamps.
We
I
sell.
love your stamps. Show me your stamps. They look.
The two humans go, whatever, and they sit down. The dwarf goes, you want stamps? I can provide. Here, hold on. Kind of goes into a ledger and starts to open up the thing. We have the official markings of Alrak. If you're from a particular city within the domain, we also offer city logos and iconography. If you're one of faith, we offer numerous symbols of. And he just starts going through a couple of the listings here. Is there? Are you looking for a particular set?
Well, let's just say that, second from our previous issue, I'm actually contemplating on starting up a secondary business for my current enterprise. We're gonna be. Sorry.
Not aside from our issue, looking also to perhaps start a secondary business with our, our enterprise. Perhaps something, little bit more. How would you say? How to use this word? More like reselling.
Okay.
Looking into, a very convenient way to be able to have my shipping and postage taken care of, so that I can send my product to my customer. Does that make sense?
If you'd like, we can probably set up a space within our warehouse, and you can keep your product there. We can take work orders from there. We can set up some sort of an SO system for you. And starts to go into the bit. It's strange how we all know this due to our work. Vera, you see Savannah walk the corner as Dallas is sort of like, can I?
I just do this, and I point like beyond the gate.
Yeah, you see two open gates. That you see two rows of horses. One of them has two, one has one, and their carriages, and you can see slightly past them the warehouse space.
I seen what box he was looking in, right?
Yes.
I point out the box.
It's inside the warehouse, so I'm gonna ask you guys this: do you walk into the warehouse?
Savannah's a lot quieter than me. That's what I call her out here.
Sorry, last sound. What was that?
In order to look further into the boxes as well as what's inside the warehouse, you'd have to go into the warehouse.
I told him I pointed the box out to you.
All right. I'm sure the box is heavy, so I can't just mage hand pick it up.
Yeah, it's
right?
more than 10 pounds.
All right. I'm going to stealthily kind of go between the horse and the carriages to see how much into this, so I can at least get a better visual of the warehouse space.
Make me an investigation check as you start to enter the space. Rolly, you hear...
18.
18? Rolly, you hear... Well, another thing that we can do is we can set up sort of like a pay-as-you-go plan. It really sort of depends on how big your business is. We have a few options if you need it. We have like a premium, a sort of a moderate, and sort of a intermediate plan if you need it.
Now, is there a way? I do like the idea of the pay-as-you-go plan. Perhaps maybe something where I can have, pre-approved postage sent and
What's your
charged
business,
to a
by the
central.
way?
Oh, we do a lot of imports and exports. Currently part of the
then
enterprise.
you're gonna want an out-of-state plan. Let me show you those. And starts to pull out those. Savannah, as you walk in, you see that the horses don't pay you to mine. They're kind of used to people. As you walk in, it is papers and cubby holes and boxes strewn all about. The one that Vera has pointed out has currently been opened, and there are several ledgers, ring notebooks, all of them marked different dates and months. There is actually a door to the northeast of the room. And with your 18, the torches inside here are sort of giving a soft illumination, making it easier to see. There is a strange-looking box to the northwest, next to one of the carriages.
I'm gonna go to the strange-looking box.
Okay. It is long. Think of it as like if someone was transporting a fridge, sort of like long and large.
Is there like a lid? Can I take it off, something off of it?
There's a lid on it, and you can slowly lift it up. Takes a bit of time. And you see what looks like to be a coffin.
Oh. I'm gonna just close that back in. Well, I'm gonna go back to the box with the ledgers first. Do I happen to see the date that we need?
You start to go with an 18. You start to go through the ledgers and the dates. The month that was postmarked is gone.
Probably in the office. Do I see the guy? I can't think of his name right now. The guy's office from where I am, or do I have an idea of where it might be?
There's no indication of an office. There is a singular door to the north that leads to who knows what.
I'm gonna stealthily walk to it and see if it's open.
So are you looking for like a lot? Like, what's your expectation for business? Is it going to be like a lot? Because what you can do is that you can prepay for an like if you're expecting like a lot of shipments, you can actually get deals depending on if you pay for it. And if you lose it, you lose it. You know.
Well, I'm gonna be very, very, very honest with you. Part of my operation is going to initially consist of, having access to warehouse supplies and, of course, logistics, but in turn is going to turn into a multi-corporate business. Think of it. I hold items for your business, small or big in any capacity, and then you can use my resources to ship out your product, where I receive a fee. You, of course, being the post office and our logistics, will get a fee. I call it Congo.
Congo.
Yes, and what I think about it is, imagine being able to order something and get your product within 2 days.
Oh, so you offer like an arcane solution to delivery then?
No. That's the beauty of it. There's no arcane, red tape. It's a simple physical logistics.
That seems like very taxing on our own delivery drivers. It seems almost impossible because we only have a few, and then we switch over to Savannah. As you're going towards the door, yeah?
Yeah.
You open the door, and you see a small empty closet. Like, it only goes in about a few feet.
Go into the closet, and for sure, just make sure it's a closet and not like, a facade.
Okay. Describe to me how you do that.
Or you could use Felix.
I'm probably gonna use Felix, because it's like, somebody tells me use Felix.
Okay. You actually don't have to summon the spores, but you can enact his spell as Detect Trap, as the spores start to release from you just for a slight moment as they hit the ground, and like veins and vines that go towards the ground start to cover things. And you notice that while it's technically not a trap, the veins hit the ground and move past the wall. Like nothing was suppressing it. Roll me an investigation check. With advantage because you have the vines from Felix that did it. And Felix does tell you, I don't detect any traps.
Let's see, 19.
19. You're looking at an illusionary wall.
Oh. Does that mean if I put my hand through it?
You do it, and it goes past the wall.
Really?
If I stick my hand back out the door, does Vera can still see me? But if I go in, obviously she goes. If I go inside, she doesn't see me anymore, right?
Vera is outside the warehouse.
I'm outside the gate.
So
okay, so she has no contact with me.
She doesn't know where you went. You went into the warehouse and you're gone.
All right, I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna walk through the wall.
You Pause the music for a second. You walk through as the illusionary wall rushes past you, and you are hit immediately with the smell of iron. Just smell of iron and rot. A strange, acrid smell. And what you see in front of you is a squared room, fairly large, with what looks to be like missing structure on the floor, like something was digging a hole. There are several small torches in here that are casting a strange orange illumination light, an everlight giving small, strange shadows against the numerous boxes in here. You actually see where some of this smell and rot is coming from, where you see what looks to be a withered, skinned body of an elf on the floor, clearly passed away. And in the northeast of the room, there is what looks to be I think they're called wagons, but the equivalent of, you know, when you go to, like, if you ever see like a media of a tent, it's essentially like a carnival tent where it's like a wooden tent where you can walk in. It's a large wagon, green in color, and there is flickering light inside of it with windows. And you can hear talking happening within that little cabin, the little wagon. But
Try to get. Oh, go ahead.
no, I was saying, if you'd like, you can get a little closer to here.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get close to hear what the voices are saying.
Make me a stealth check.
See, now I'm nervous. That is going to be an 18.
18. Let's see here. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? There you are. You hear, Master Blake, is it necessary to stay here? And you hear, of course. Despite our queen's quick response, the Griffins were able to return to Alrak. My sister's skilled, but it would have helped to slay, or to stay within it would have helped to slay the Little Richard's club. And maybe to investigate in how they traveled so quickly. Perhaps it would warrant us to return. But yes, we are here. We want to ensure they don't muck anything up. Now shh. And you hear him go a bit quiet. Now you're currently underneath the window, overhearing this. If you'd like, you can peek over to take a look.
Something tells me just to get out of there. I'll peek.
You peek over, and you see two figures dressed in Genesis clothing. And you see the familiar form of Oliver Blake, a humanoid with these like almost grayish skin now, sunken in cheekbones, facial hair, black hair that is currently matted and oiled, just sort of like a bit of a ragged mess, wearing black clothes, and he's currently in a crisscross legged fashion, hands emitting some arcane light, and his eyes have rolled back, like he's looking at you, but you get a sense he's not looking at you. Look like he sees some sort of trance as he rolls his eyes back, and you see him like almost like twisting his neck a little bit, and finally goes, "Shh, quiet, you two." Burn it, they're here. And that's where we're going to end today's session, as his eyes open and he looks directly at you. As he was in the midst of a scrying spell. And that's where we're going to end today's session.
Oh man, I had
Who
something
is the
really
other little
good.
person that she's seen? Who was the other person she's seen? Because you said two people.
Genesis members.
Oh, so we don't know them.
Man, I had something really good.
No, we have you talking logistics with the post office people.
Oh man, I had something funny.
So yeah, right now, Savannah caught. We'll get into the details on short rest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you so much for joining us, everyone. We'll be back next Sunday for episode
66.
66. Yeah. See you guys then.
I finished my notebook.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey!